That's my baby.
I'm dying.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Left, beat left.
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. This is Fan Friday, only on A2D Radio. Every show we are brought to you by our doc, make them yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Tom Renone, Ryan Brodo, Jake Friel, Joe Castro, Philly the podcast, Pete Young. We'll call him Sixers 24/7. Everybody out there, join us. What's up, family? How are you? We're going to get in our live reactions here in just a couple. We'll do our call-ins at the end of the show, okay? So we'll give you about a half hour and see how many we can run through at like 2-minute pieces. You call in, get it off your chest, get in, get out, let the next guy jump in, and we'll roast you. So that'll be fun. Or you'll roast us, but I highly doubt it. But, you know,
It's not happening.
We'll see how good you are behind the mic. Eagles, they have a new head coach. We'll dive into it. We'll talk about it. We'll get everybody's opinions on it because now some time and has gone past a little bit. The dust settled a tiny bit. We obviously have to wait and see what his staff's going to be. But we obviously got our reactions yesterday after the hire. But now a day's gone by. How do you feel now? So we'll talk about that later on in the show. We'll post-game Sixers Celtics. Can the Sixers get another one up 10? It ties into our live reactions, which ties in to our poll question brought to you by All Campus. OC.com. Use discount code A2D, 15% off all your team hats. They don't got it in stock. Let me tell you something. John Coyle will get it for you. Tell him I told him. Tell him I told you to tell him to go get it. All Campus OC.com. Discount code A2D, 15% off. Our poll question. Tobias Harris has been playing up to his contract so far this season. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Like, subscribe, download, follow. Join the conversation with us. Talk Sixers with us tonight, up 10. Right? Feeling good. A 42-point third quarter. Enter the poll just to get right on into it. And our first segment is brought to you by our guys over at the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. All right. And listen, we know out there, you know, in today's day and age, you don't have to hide nothing anymore. And many of us and our families deal with mental health, addiction issues, and we're happy to support the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. If you need help, please call 856-651-8117. 856-651-8117. Cherry Hill locations as well, all over the country. So find them, give them a call. They'll get you taken care of, and virtual appointments. Everything when you talk on the mental health and the Counseling Center, and obviously Sunrise Detox for anybody with addiction issues. So give them a call. Our poll and Sixers talk. I didn't want to forget that because now I got more reads to do. So now I got to I got more reads that in. There's more reads that in. You know what I mean? I got to get on my A game here a little bit more. Tobias Harris been playing up to his contract so far this season. Agree or disagree? I don't know. If you disagree, I just feel like you're on a hate train. I feel like it's hate train talk. Because I think he's definitely lived up to his contract this year. He's a definition of like consistency. And we talked about this on other shows and we'll talk about it again right now. I mean, the guy night in, night out, you know what he's giving you. I mean, he's walking into 18-20. And if you get more than that, it's a win. I mean, I'll take consistency over you busting the nut, right? You busting a big nut for 40 and you come back for 10 the next night. Like that doesn't do it for me. Consistency does it for me. Consistency wins. And we've all watched enough sports to know that JoJo's so good. He's so good. Oh, my goodness. And we said that consistency wins. And when I can have stars, he doesn't have to be a star. Like, his contract never matters to me. Because at the end of the day, you got to max good players in this league to keep them. And you have the advantage as organizations to do that. You can't trade for a guy and then not max him that following offseason. You can't let Jimmy Butler and Tobias walk. We'd be burning the place down if both of them walked. Okay, so you had to – Jimmy didn't want to come here. You had to give the max of Tobias. And listen, in the playoffs, did he come up a little tiny last year? Yeah. In the bubble? Sure. We all did. Okay? But I think as this team's constructed, you're going to see a better Tobias Harris. And obviously, Doc, I feel like his games even became a little bit more consistent this year. He gets to his spots, which I really like. I don't know. I liked him in the fourth quarter this year so far, which is a big sample thing for me. I look at what you do in the fourth when the game's on the line-ish, and he's been very good in the fourth quarter. So I look at Tobias Harris, and I could easily get on the hate train for not giving me 35 a night, or, you know, and then come back and give me 15. But I don't need that. He doesn't need to be that guy here. If he can constantly give us 20 and on a real good night, you know, maybe give us a 28 piece here and there, I'll take that all day over just a guy that's going to, like we talked about, give us a big scoring effort and then come back and disappear. Like, I don't need disappearing acts. I need consistency to go around Joel Embiid, because I know Joel Embiid is going to get his numbers if he plays night in, night out. So if I can have somebody consistently giving me that production, and especially as a stretch four as he's playing here, I don't know. I think he already looks better than he did last year. I think this is the best Tobias Harris has looked since he got here, honestly, and consistency-wise. Aggressive, confident, right? That's all the things you look at when you talk about a guy taking jump shots, etc., right? Like the confidence in the shot, the confidence, and he's such a good dude, too. That's the other thing. Like, he's such a good guy, a good teammate. That all matters to me in your contract. But guess what? He's produced. He's right at his number. So you can talk to me about max, and he's never going to live up to a max. Fine. I mean, nobody lives up to these kinds of dollars, babe. You know what I mean? Unless you're cutting nets down, ain't nobody living up to these dollars that the NBA throws around. So I don't give a shit about the NBA money. Like, if you're a max player, fine. Are you close enough to being a max in the situation? Because everything in context. In context, you let them walk. What do we got right now? That's why I want to ask the people out there. What the fuck do we got? We just let him out. We let him walk and Jimmy walk. What are we hanging our hat on? Do you think we're as good of a basketball team? Like, we hate on our players more than anybody in the country. Like, we just love to hate on our own guys, right? And I'll hate when necessary. But right now, I got nothing to hate on with him. I got other agendas on this basketball team I'm looking at, not him. So if he just comes out and gives me the effort like he gave me the night so far and throughout this whole season, that Tobias Harris works for me. Show up in the postseason. Boys, family, what do you guys say to the poll? We'll go to Jake first here, and then we'll go whatever. Like, was that counterclockwise? So we'll go Joe, Pete, right? We'll swing it up the board here, or whatever. Whoever wants to go next, doesn't matter. But Tobias Harris has been playing up to his contract so far this season. Do you agree or disagree?
Right now, yeah, I agree to the poll. It's just, I think really what obviously really brought me to this is just, obviously before Doc Rivers got here, he was good, but he was never like consistent. Like, you saw flashes here and there, but now that Doc's here, now he's back in Doc's system, you're seeing just a more consistent, like you said, Tom, more consistent, more confident Tobias Harris. He's putting up around 18 to 20 points a game, which is all I wanted, which is all I really wanted. And I've criticized this guy since we made the trade last year. So it's I'm happy with where he's at right now, and I agree to the poll.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll try and keep the hate aside. We all know my background, but it is what it is. Look, I mean, it's what you want from him, right? You know, the word max player is thrown around so much in the NBA right now. It's kind of diluted at this point. You know, it's what you need from him on his team, and he's being consistent. Like you said, he's a walk-in 20 points. You know, he's going to walk in there, give you exactly what he gave you the night before. So if that's what you want from him, then yes, he's definitely living up to the contract you got from him. to your point, you do have probably bigger problems outside of Tobias. So I don't feel like he's the one that you should really be burning at the stake right now. So I agree with the poll.
Oh, look at this. Look at this start.
I'm being nice.
Start. 3-0. Hard to ruin it here unless we get back to back. Disagree.
This is where it gets funky. This is where it gets fun.
You can't call it a comeback. Don't call it a comeback. The Sixers, listen, it's getting a little closer now. Now we're talking about Tobias turns the goddamn basketball over. Say it isn't making Back to the Future. I disagree to the poll. I disagree completely. No, I still agree. Pete, what do you got to say to the poll?
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. He's playing up to his contract. I'm a big Tobias Harris fan. I've always liked his game. When we were stuck in the muck with the process, Tobias Harris was the one guy where I would just be like, man, I would love to see him on this team just to see what he could do. And he's here now. It's like, it's fun. But, he was okay last year. He was nothing special. Like, he had his moments here and there. But, like, it's not even a question anymore. Like, he has stepped up his game in every facet. As a passer, as a defender, as a driver. He's shooting the three nice. His on the floor presence is nice. Like, and the max contract stuff is just that. It's bullshit. Like, very few players, it's like you're saying, very few players actually stand up to their contract, like, or hold up to it. You know what I mean? There's like maybe 5 guys I can count on my hand who I look at their contract and be like, that they're worth that. Like LeBron, your KDs, James Harden and guys like that. But other than that, like, you getting paid what you're getting paid, and, what happens is what happens. I'm 100% happy with Tobias. He is a much improved player. He's looking much like the Tobias Harris he was with the Clippers, the Doc effect, if we're going to call it what it is. Glenn Rivers has brought out something Tobias. Maybe it's the system. Maybe it's his coach, the way he coaches him. Maybe it's because he's back in his natural position. But whatever the case might be, Tobias Harris is balling. On a consistent night, he's going to give you 18 to 22 points a game. He'll probably shoot between 37 to 40% from three. He's going to get you to the line, and he's going to make some nice jumpers. Like, he is 100% living up to his contract. As of right now, he's playing as the second best player on this team. And for everything we gave up for him, that's exactly what we need. He's 100% living up to his contract.
Yep, we won that deal. Rye, what do you say to the poll?
Yeah, so I guess it'll be a clean sweep. I have no complaints at all. To your point, Tom, I never really cared about the contract because people who know it going back to, by the way, Ben actually made a shot. He actually made it.
It's not about making them. It's not about making them, Rye. He's making them. He's not taking them.
He's not taking them, yeah. What was that, his third, by the way?
4th, I think.
Yep.
Oh,
3rd or 4th.
My apologies to Ben. Oh, there you go. Followed up with a 3. Jaylon Brown again. But going back to Tobias, we had to sign him to that max contract because we weren't going to go out of that offseason missing out on Jimmy Butler and Tobias.
Ooh. Benjamin Button.
What happened?
What did we ask for?
We're up to 5. We're up to 5 shots now. We're up to 5 shots.
We want.
And one,
yeah.
Oof, sexy.
All I've asked for from Tobias is that he's, the second leading scorer, third leading scorer, and that he shows consistency. He doesn't take, not that he's taken, quarters off, but in the past couple seasons, he's had quarters where we just look at him and be like, damn, Tobias, you're killing us. Yes. He hasn't really had that this season other than, in the first week that, 1 or 2 of those first games where we were talking on one of these shows and we were saying how much he pissed us off. But aside from that, I look at his stats and I say, okay, well, his field goal percentage is way up compared to last year. It was 47%. Now it's 50%. His 3-point percentage, it was 36%. Oh, Benjamin! Hey!
Let's go.
Tom, I'm glad we didn't make...
in the 4th, Ben Simmons. Taking over in the 4th, Ben Simmons.
That's what I like to see.
He has a pulse. His 3-point percentage, it went from 36% to now 41%.
Ooh.
His turnovers are down. His assists are up. So you look at all that. He's been the definition of consistency. And aside from Joel Embiid, I think Tobias Harris is right there with Shake Milton as far as the most impressive members of the Sixers so far this year.
Yeah, A 9 for 11 tonight. I mean, that's a real efficient night, obviously.
That's a stud stat line.
Extremely efficient. Who's got Static City on their friggin' mic that I can't even hear myself think? We'll have to go through a test gate here. And it went away.
As soon as you
calling shit out, goes away.
It's afraid of you, Tom.
I hope so. Something needs to be. But you look. I mean, you look. I mean, you look at. You got to remember too. Like you add shooters around him now. You know his numbers should go up. He should get better looks, and he should be more efficient, like he has been in the past before he even got here. You know what I'm saying? And what up, Don? I mean, you're too kind, baby.
Thanks, Donovan.
You're just unbelievable.
Thanks for the update too. Thanks for the update with Brooklyn, by the way.
Joe, appreciate you. We all appreciate you.
Don't mess with Sexland.
But like you just look. I mean, you look
on, man. I've known you for 5 minutes. I already love you.
I'm pissed. I'm not gonna say, but let's go. Keep going.
Hey,
look at that. You look what's
let's go on.
It matters what's around them too. Like last year we had a horrendous bench. Okay, and it came back to bite us in the ass. Like our guys were giving us numbers, our starters were, but we had nobody off the bench, right? So now it's like we have a really good starting five, and now we have a solid bench. I'm not going to crown it. I'm not going to say it's the best bench around. I'm just going to say it's a solid bench. It's a really good bench. Okay, it's nothing that you're going to be like overly excited about, but from where we were last year to this year, it's hugely improved from where it was. So I mean, that's what excites me the most, and it's young guys too. To buy, yes, that's what we love.
I had to mute my mic. I had to mute my mic because I figured that was coming. I didn't want to yell in the middle of your. I didn't want to yell in the middle of your sentence there, Tom.
Yell away. I don't give a shit. It's the big one though tonight because, like we talked about the other night.
I fucking hate the Celtics.
72 is different than 82. It's more condensed, and especially when you're playing back to back, like not back to back, but back to back the same team, and you got a chance.
Okay, Ben.
We don't ask for a freaking lot. We don't ask for a lot in this season. We ask for a little aggression.
Fourth quarter Simmons.
Little aggression. And we talked about the bias living up the contract. Part of that was I love that hard foul. Suck a dick, Marcus. Sorry.
He wants the review.
Yeah, go to the review, Marcus. You crumb. I mean, you had the officials in your back pocket tonight. Okay, Joel Embiid's getting smoked out there and not getting calls. Listen, you're 7-1 and there's contact. It's almost like getting raped in prison. Like that's how much contact there is. You understand? When you're 7-1 and you see a guy move, he's getting a lot of contact. Okay, we're not talking about a 6'1" guard from Georgetown here. Okay, Allen Iverson that was really 5'11". We're talking about a grown man at 7'1". However much he weighs, I don't even care. Okay, that when there's contact and he moves, that means that's a call.
Pounds a bitch.
That's a call.
Also, is there anything funnier than Marcus Smart complaining about people flopping when he is like the biggest flopper in the league?
Hold on. That's how these guys operate, right? They deflect. It's all about somebody else why we lost games. That's how they go. Greg says Toby's listening to the show while on the court.
Mm-hmm. He's got an earpiece in.
Levi says, nice foul, Joe. Yeah, I like the hard fouls. I like old school NBA. I mean, I'm
all for punching.
I love the lean-in fouls that he does.
Oh my God, he does
that little move. Right? It drives them nuts. It drives every defender crazy when he does that.
Because he gets it every time.
Every time. It's automatic now.
I love the fake three, and he just drives in a little bit to get the contact, and they fucking fall for it every fucking time.
He never used to do that. He never used to do that in past seasons. He used to do like the thing with the arm where he like does like the, you know what I'm saying, like the rock. That's the only thing he used to do. Now he does these lean-in fouls. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Just confirm something, Rye. Just confirm something. If there's a question, I just want to tell this to people. If there's a question who the MVP as of right now in basketball, if there's a question who that guy is, he's playing right now. He's out there right this second. And I think he's got 33 now. It's another. So you're going from to drop 42 on him 2 nights ago, right? You just played them. And when you play good teams, it's hard to beat them like this 2 in a row. Okay, you just played them, and then you come back, and you're at. I think he's at 33 right now. And he must have a million. He must have what's I got him.
That's a tough one.
33, 9, and 3.
And I think that's his 11th board right there.
Take it, Ben. Take it. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I want.
If
That
the
is
Sixers-
all I want.
Look
If
at
the
this.
Sixers, if we win if we get like the 1 seed, I'm getting. There's no fucking way I can say anything but giving Joel the fucking MVP.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, people
But
saying,
right
"Hey,
now, it's a tough competition between him and LeBron right now. It's like really close in my opinion.
Well, LeBron's always going to be in the conversation. Jake, who do you have him as you right now? Would he be your leader in the MVP? Answer that question.
Well, yeah, right now, yeah.
We'll keep circling.
Yeah, I'd say LeBron, Embiid, and then Jokic.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to put it
He's
between
like-
LeBron and Embiid right now.
It's fucking like what year 18? He's putting up the shit he's putting up, and he's half-assing it too. Like Jesus Christ, man.
I say it's between four guys. I mean, you got to put
Who's your fourth? Who's your fourth?
KD's in the conversation.
Oh, AD, really?
KD.
Oh, I thought you said AD. I was like, huh?
No, KD. He's in the conversation. If he's playing, he's always in the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that not
For
a foul?
sure.
That wasn't a foul. Okay, that's fine.
But he's not winning. Levi's right. I mean, Jokic isn't winning, or Jokic isn't winning. Sorry,
The team's playing like shit right now.
when you're not winning, it's hard. It's hard for you to be in the top three. To me, like if you're not winning, you got to be winning.
Sorry.
You just got to be winning games. I mean, it's what it comes down to. Right? You have him as your leader in the pack.
100%. 100%. The only other person, I guess, is LeBron. Yeah, I mean, but I think it's Joel Embiid and everyone else right now. Not to say that, like, no disrespect to anyone that's 2 or 3 or 4, but it's Embiid. Like we talked about, we see what this team is when he's not on the floor.
Yeah,
and we see him late in games when there's nobody around, whether it's in a COVID game or whether it's in games like the other week, where he's a one-man army. He can score from wherever. He's a defensive he's a menace on defense. He's going to the line consistently, even when in a game more tonight where he's not getting a ton of calls. I mean, how many times has he gone to the line tonight? Do we know?
13, I think.
I mean, he could have easily gone to the line at least 16, 17 times tonight if he would have gotten some reasonable calls.
He probably could have went as many times as he did the other night, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a game of attrition, though, so he's got to, he's got to continuously do that. They don't give the MVP out in February, so he's going to have to, keep on doing that, and he hasn't shown that. So we'll see. We'll see. If he can continue to play at this level, he's definitely, in my opinion, the leader. And if you guys continue to play at a good level for the, as a team, is that me or is that?
Nah, it's not you, Joe. It's not you.
All right. I'm like trying to mix it.
No, you're good.
But yeah, he's got to continuously do it for the rest of the season. We know what he could bring. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot like our Eagles. We know we've seen what they can bring. It's just about doing it for the whole season. But I think he's far and ahead the leader right now. It definitely isn't anybody on the Nets. They all suck.
I'll ask you,
oh my God.
I'll ask you, Joe, because obviously, you being a Nets fan and everything, and I brought this up the other night. Looking around the East, because either people would have you guys as like the favorite, to come out of the East based off of your star power, upper echelon. They would say that you guys are one of the better teams, along with us and probably Milwaukee. Are the Sixers the team that you fear the most because of a guy like Embiid? Because now you obviously trade away a guy like Jared Allen. You're left with DeAndre Jordan, who's, he doesn't stink, but he's like 50. And you obviously you signed one of our guys earlier this morning, Norville Pell. Are you afraid of the Sixers, the most heading into the playoffs because of Embiid? Or is there another team, maybe like Milwaukee because of Giannis?
Honestly, before this season started, I made a video saying the Sixers are probably the biggest challenge for the Nets. And this is before we got Harden, before we let go of Jared Allen. I mean, you have one of the, if not the most dominant big man in the league. You know what I'm saying? That's hard to beat. And like I said, before the season started, you added the one thing that you sorely lacked. You know what I'm saying? If you add 20 points to a lot of your games last year, your record is a lot different. You know what I'm saying? So you added that 20 points or more in the offseason. So that makes it only scarier. Like, yeah, we have a now we have a big three. It is what it is. But, and that's, 80 points, whatever it might be. But when it's just like football, too. I hate to keep bringing it back.
What happened?
Going crazy. That's going crazy.
Who is that? Durant? Is that a 7-1 Durant? That with 38 points.
See, that scares me too. Yeah, you guys are just built. You guys are built different. It's all about health, though. Health as well.
From a big man. 38 from a big man. Listen, and he played with a chip tonight.
That's scary.
All right, I know somebody said in here they played with a chip tonight. He played with a chip tonight on his shoulder. Troy said that. He did early on in this game. That's how he was playing. He was playing pissed off because Marcus Smart wants to come out and talk shit. So you come out and you start calling the guy flopper, etc., and he comes back, right? And he puts 38 up on you again. He just put 42 up on you. He called him a flopper, and that's what shows me really what I need to see. That's what I need to see because that's the response stuff. This guy plays better with a chip. Always has.
That shot was disgusting. Okay, that shot was filthy. I just watched it on a replay again. Like, I can't get over that friggin'. Forget about the way he's played all game, all season. Holy hell. I mean, a guy that size is not supposed to be able to do that.
That was a crazy game. Y'all blew them out. Y'all a scary team.
11 for 15, Joe. A big man. And not just 11 for 15. We're talking about 2 for 2 from 3. All right? And the fact that his mid-range game this year is sick. His mid-range game ain't right. You can't. So now you got to really close out on the mid-range, and he's talented enough to go around you, and nobody's blocking him at the rim. I mean, listen, if this guy stays healthy this year, this team's a problem. This team's a problem. This guy win championships, baby. I'll say it again. Big championships. Your little 2-guard signed shoe deals. Let's go.
He needs to give whatever milkshake he's drinking to Ben Simmons because maybe he needs to put up some more shots. I mean, shoot. If a 7'2" man can do it, why can't a 6'10"? But hey, I'm happy for y'all. We suck. I'm tired of seeing the Nets suck.
God damn.
That was a close-up.
No, power went out on Jake.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Matt, well, get to some of the comments. Yeah, Levi, so close to the back to back, but nothing to complain about. And he's making Kobe shots. Yep, Ted.
Kobe.
Freaking Joel Embiid ISO ball.
Philly Sports Passion Simmons stepped up in the fourth, defensive-wise and offensive-wise. No question about it. That's all we asked for. You know what I mean? Like, you're too talented to not be walking around, right? I think 15 tonight, right?
Ben?
Yeah, 7 for 10. You're too talented to not be walking into 15, baby. But you got to understand another thing to people out there. It's not even about that. Like, a lot of times I feel like he's way more pass first because there's a lot of shooters around him too. So, like, some of these games where you're like, oh, he's not, you know what I mean? We're riding them. Well, remember, I mean, you got to look at it. Tobias 12 shots, Joe 15 shots, Curry 10 shots, Danny 7. That's just in the starting lineup. You know what I mean? How many shots can you get to go around? You know what I mean, too. Mm-hmm. Remember, it's not a million balls to go around. So you got to factor that. We got to factor that into it. So I think right around where he's at tonight, 10 shots he should be. That shouldn't be a question, right? That's
all I want. That's all I want.
That's it.
You got yourself a 6'10" Lonzo Ball. There you go. You got yourself a little 6'10" Lonzo Ball. I'll give you 11 assists a game.
Oh, here we go.
I'm jaded. I'm hurt right now. We lost. We blew out. I got blown out.
He's lashing out right now. He's lashing out.
Full circle when we talk Eagles. we bring it all the way around. And
I hate seeing my friends happy. It's not.
True. The mid-range fades are ooh. You know what I mean? That's like you just got cooked a good meal. Ooh, like ooh. You know what I mean? Your lady just gave you, you got to go one. You're like, ooh, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's that kind of. Ooh. So I mean, it's nothing. Not a lot of guys. Nobody can do, man. Like, he's a combination, and he can be when he's healthy. He's a combination of Shaq's ability to dominate, Hakeem's footwork, and the ability in the mid-range game. I don't know who. I don't know what big man outside of Timmy. I mean, Timmy Duncan's the big man, the first big man that comes to mind. If I'm thinking big man, old school guys that had that mid-range game like that, you know what I mean? And then when you talk about the expansion of the three, I mean, that's just a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? That's how now you're just ridiculous. But like, tell me if I'm wrong, guys. I don't know a big man that had the mid-range game he had alone. So he's got a combination of all these guys. Now, can he stay on the court?
That's the biggest thing with him is his injury history. But I feel like he's gotten better every year. That's the one thing I'll say about him. That's probably the most, gives you the most optimism about him, going forward. Because it's like, honestly, I feel like he's almost probably just scratched the surface of what he could truly be. Because, I feel like every year he learns something new. He adds something new to his arsenal, and he's good at it. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't necessarily bring it out until he's good at it. So, I'm a hater, but you definitely guys got yourself one. Definitely got yourself one.
He's a baller and a shot caller, man. He's ridiculous.
He's something different. He's something different, but he's something we've seen before. But like you said, we've seen it in so many different people. But to see it in one person, to see it in one person is definitely crazy.
Ziggy says, "What's up, fellas? It's Zane. New account. Great win tonight. Big Ben finally showed up, and that's what we want in the fourth quarter, right? We need guys and our star players to come up big. TTP Joel Embiid is the GOAT. You know it, baby.
What's up, TTP?
Chrome saying, yeah, Duncan for sure. Man, he looks phenomenal. And when it's back to the basket is where the Shaq comes in. And where, nobody can stop him when it's back to the basket either. Eric says, people want to get rid of Simmons. Why? I took over the game. I mean, I'm not in the business of getting rid of Simmons, but there's definitely reasons to be critical of aggressiveness early on throughout the year. I mean, anybody with two eyes.
More aggressive.
Yeah, anybody with two eyes that doesn't want to admit that, I think should take a step back from watching basketball, because they're more in for like the dramas. It's like a soap opera to them. They're in for the fucking love affairs more so than the common sense, right? So like you're just to watch ABC and 12 o'clock, midday.
General Hospital.
Yeah. You know what I mean? See who you see. Maybe you'll see somebody in there. But if you're in the love stories and dramas, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. At the end of the day, you ask a guy to come up big in the fourth quarter or let everybody know he played. That's a big thing too. Like I want to know you played tonight.
I think we all love Ben. It's just he just needs to get more consistent. I don't know what's been going on with him lately, but tonight was a nice bounce back.
Oh, Greg said that last step back three from Joel just won a friend $5K. And never you though, huh? You know what I mean?
Not you.
Always surprised me.
Sixers JT, good fucking shit, Ben. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dan, what's Dan saying? ESPN has Joker over Joel. Currently, the hate is real. Yeah, I mean that's just whoever has that and like wrote that up in their little notepad. I mean, again, is not in tune, is not watching. Right? He's just looking at a stat sheet or what he remember from a fucking bubble. It's a new year. So somebody didn't realize that 90 days went by since the bubble and it's a new season. Right? So somebody didn't lock in over to ESPN, which isn't a surprise. All right. This isn't me being a homer. This is a factual conversation. This is right now. And Joe's right. You don't give it out in February. Right now, he's the best player in the league. Because without him, you take him away from us, we stink. Yep. And you go from stinking to being right now the number one team in the East. Now it's early, but right now they're the number one team in the East. So you take that for what it is. And a lot of teams struggling early on. That shouldn't be. I mean, Boston's struggling. Like I don't want to hear about Tatum not playing tonight. They got Kemba Walker. They got Jaylon Brown. They got players out there. So I don't want to hear excuses. I don't hear excuses from anybody. And all these other teams, right, that have got off the slow starts. There's a lot of them. So you can't win it in February, but you sure as hell can lose it, boys. Mm-hmm. You sure as hell can lose it. So 11-5, and you're talking about Indiana, Milwaukee playing the second best basketball. Milwaukee's not even playing good basketball. So, that's how I look at it right now. Who's number one in the conference and who's playing the best basketball?
Milwaukee's looked weak. I ain't scared of Milwaukee at all. I said it from the beginning too. People like thrashed me when I said that. I felt like the Sixers. Like I said, I'm not a Sixers fan. It is what it is. I'm a Nets fan. It is. We suck. It is what it is. But I really felt like the Sixers were just built differently. Like they were built. They were built for the playoffs. They were built to beat teams like even the Lakers. Realistically, you have a good enough bench that when AD and LeBron step off of that court, they're gonna have issues. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. Even my Nets don't seem to understand that at some point your stars come off of the court, and you have to have the bench players that can then go in there and still run the same system and put the points up. You have that. You have, good players at every position. The Dwight Howard pickup was honestly key, to be real. Like you have a whole second team that could realistically start on bad teams. So I mean, it is what it is. You guys are just built right. You guys are built right.
Oh, I feel like we are. Ben finally realized he's right-handed.
That's so weird.
Let's go Lakers. Levi. I mean, he is pathetic on the defensive side. Yeah, to me, like nobody factors in both sides of the court either. And when you talk about Embiid, he plays both ends. So there ain't no question. There's no question in that. Gavin said Matisse played well tonight. Yeah, he played well. That block on Kemba was nice. Kemba left his jock strap laying there, and he was able to jump back in there and make a big block and go down for the easy dunk. But I do like that. And he looks like he's a little bit more confident taking the open shot, which is important too for a young player to be willing to take it, because you're going to get open looks, especially when defenses aren't keying in on you. So you got to be able to have confidence taking that shot. Dan, I for one was killing Toby earlier this year, and dude has been killing it. Yeah, he's been playing well. I mean, he's not like in an MVP conversation, but he's playing well, and is a borderline all-star. And if you're taking that every year, where he has a chance to be considered an all-star every year, then I think it's a win. I absolutely do. Philly sports passion. Question for the Nets fan, which would be Joe. What's the biggest issue right now for the Nets?
He wears number 11 now. I honestly, this is me being a fan and trying to be realistic at the same time. So cut me some slack. Realistically, we have a whole new team than we started with. We haven't played our players that much. We don't have a system yet. So honestly, if I had to put it on one person right now, I would say it's on, while Kyrie is probably the most obvious issue that's going on, I would have to put it on Nash. Nash has to figure out a system and a way to use the players that he has to his advantage. I feel like he just kind of throws the guys out there and hopes for the best. So right now, I need to see some more, game planning from Nash. But there's a whole slew of problems out in Brooklyn right now. But hopefully we get it together. We'll see.
Yeah, new coach, first timer on the job. That doesn't make it easy. And
you got to figure it out. Yeah.
Then you get star power in too. You know what I mean? Then you're talking about getting star power in, and that makes it even harder for a first timer to be able to handle that.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on. And then you factor in all the drama that, unfortunately Kyrie is bringing in. I know it's not making it easy on him, but, it is what it is. At some point, he's going to figure it out. I feel, or I hope, I should say, that at some point he'll figure out. And I've said this before, like, we do not have the depth that we had before, but there's a way of kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, kind of staggering their minutes that it'll stretch our bench out. Like, we can go 8, maybe 9 deep if we stagger if we can keep, if we could keep KD out there and keep Harden and KD at, at points and just stagger the minutes. That's what I'm saying. If he can figure something out, which I hope that he can, I think he can, I think the Nets can still be a dangerous team. I mean, we all know what it is. That's 80 points right there. You can't just, shoo at 80 points. Like, those 3 will bring you 80 points in the playoffs. So you got to figure out the rest.
Yeah, I was saying on Wednesday too, Joe, that I think one of the things that'll help you guys too is once we get to the buyout markets to where team, you know what I'm saying? Because you guys are a destination to where your bench right now is it's not much of anything. But you get a couple buyout candidates, and they come here because in the East, I would say the biggest landing spots as far as attractiveness, I think it's the Sixers, I think it's Milwaukee, and I think it's the Nets, and maybe Miami also, as a fourth one. So there's going to be people. Whether it might just be one person, but even if you get one more key person off the bench, to your point, it's going to be huge for you guys because then you could structure your minutes right now. You guys are extremely top heavy, which is going to come back to bite you right now. But if you can go out and get somebody either in a trade or a buyout, I mean, the trade isn't going to happen just because you don't really have too many assets right now unless you're trading Kyrie. The perfect opportunity is to get one guy or two guys in the buyout market. And that way, in the playoffs, when the benches shrink anyway, I think that'll be really good for you guys. And I think that'll be coming, really in handy for us too. Because like we talked about on Wednesday, when you look at the Sixers bench, clearly the Sixers bench is way better than Brooklyn's. And I would say better than most of the benches in the East. But I would still say, like I've said before, I think our biggest weakness on the bench is that backup 4 spot. So if you get somebody in there, well, then you have flat out scoring, you have plenty of shooting, and then you add, Dwight Howard to that mix, who's, a really good backup center in roles. And then you get another 4 to back up Tobias Harris in limited spots. I think that would be huge as well.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to get the types, like the buyout market. I don't know if they're going to be, like, in terms of the Nets, be able to get enough to, like, make that bench that much better. That's the only
Dinwiddie loss was big. The Dinwiddie loss was huge. That was huge. Mm-hmm. And as far as the trade, on paper, it's a lot. It is a whole lot. The first round picks are nothing to laugh at. But Karis, we see what happened. Mad prayers to my guy Karis. I love Karis LeVert. Mm-hmm. But we see what happened with that. We kind of saved his life with this trade. But and then you look at Jarrett Allen. Jarrett Allen is such an on-the-fence player. We saw what he did against us, and that's kind of a spiteful thing. But, like, this year is the first time that we got that type of value out of him, that we could really say, oh, we'll give you Jarrett Allen, and it actually means something. You know what I'm saying? So, in that regards, I'm not too upset about the trade. The first-round picks are tough to swallow because it's so many of them. But the players-wise, it is what it is. I think we have – some players that are on the bench that can fill it in, but we need a big man. I am so tired of watching DeAndre Jordan like crawl up and down that court. Like, he is the slowest man. And it was an actual stat last year. Like, he was the literal slowest player in the NBA for a whole month. That's not a stat that you want to figure out that they even keep. I found that out about him.
That's a real life thing?
Shit. That's a real life stat. I found that out about DeAndre Jordan, and it's like he's never sped up.
How about this one? I like this, Dan. He posted a question last night at the Hockey App Hour, guys. What happens first? Flyers make a move, Sixers, or JT resigns? I'll go JT resigns.
JT.
Yeah, JT.
Yeah, I think JT he'll be back officially by the end of the weekend.
Unless you ask Braves fans today that he can platoon with Riley, which is
this, Tom. I, for the last year and a half, have been saying vehemently they're not bringing back JT. It's not happening. The fact that now I'm bought into it's happening should tell you all need to know. And people need to understand, like, the Phillies they're bidding against themselves right now. It was going to either be the Blue Jays or the Phillies, and the Blue Jays were out as soon as they got Springer. So they're bidding against themselves. I don't know why they don't realize that, but I would honestly be shocked at this point if he's not back officially.
They're trying to raise his value out there. They're trying to bring his agent, trying to bring more teams into it, obviously, and leak this and leak that to try to get him some extra bucks, even if that's another $25 million. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They'll try to scrap and claw for every dollar they can get for their client. And for him, it's like, it's really not a rush for him to sign. If he knows he's going to sign here, like, it's not a rush. If he thinks he's signing somewhere else, that's more of a rush because shit, I want to get there because I just want to I got to move. I got to, for a player like that with a family and kids, like he's got to think that stuff comes into play. So I don't think I think it's a lock he signs here. Like, I'd be shocked if he went somewhere else, like anywhere, because only the bad teams can really give him anything. And I don't think at this point in his career, that's what he's looking for. So, if you're talking about difference like $10 million, I don't, $20 million, I don't think it's a difference where he goes anywhere.
He'll end up with a contract by the end of the weekend, like 5 years, 110 or something.
You're being generous. I think it's 5 years, 140.
Nah, I'll be pissed.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's gonna be
that's a horrible contract for years and money. That's $40 million too much, and that's a year too many. Nah, 5 years, 110. I'm not even excited about the 5th year just because he's already 30. But nah.
So if they tack that on, would you just be like, buy JT?
Yeah, because I'm not doing 5 years, 140 because I'm also trying to bring back Gregorius. I'm trying to add to this bullpen. I'm trying to get one more starter.
Yeah. No. Because now you're letting the son of a bitch off the goddamn hook, right? No, because I don't care if they got to give him some fucking $700 billion. They could have to literally give him the franchise. You said stupid money, babe. So I don't give a shit what you got to pay because there's no cap and the only thing is a luxury tax. So whoop-de-doo. Act like a big market one time and go over it. Okay, I don't care. And that's not a shot at you. That's a shot at
but you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But they're not doing that. They're not going over the tax.
JT walk and watch Sixto for the next 15 years kill it in Miami.
No, I mean, that's true, but I can't even get worried about that anymore. I got to get worried about – I understand about the Didi too. Like, no, if I got to give him 140 and I got to bring Didi back too, fine. I mean, stupid money, Dave Dombrowski's here. So there's two combinations that say you're supposed to win, and you're supposed to win now. This isn't a wait to win. There's no way Dave Dombrowski came in here, in my eyes, on a wait to win. You guys told us 2021.
Not his MO.
No, it's not. And you already see it. I mean, Archie Bradley, good. I mean, we'll go back to Sixers in a second.
Piece.
Archie Bradley, big time upgrade for. I mean, anything's an upgrade for this bullpen, but a legitimate upgrade.
You're an upgrade
on a guy who can get outs. And then you look at if you can bring back Didi and JT, you're gonna hit, and you can hit with anybody. So now the question is, can you get enough outs? So I don't give a shit what they got to pay the guy. I don't give a shit what they got to pay Didi. MLB Network can come on and they can sign Didi to a massive deal that's like ridiculous, and I don't care. Like all baseball, say, what are the Phillies doing? And I don't care. Like you can rip all the money you want about. Oh, the Phillies spent too much. They gave the extra year on JT. I don't give a shit. A DL is going to be in the NL soon anyway if it's not already here. All right, and then guess what happens there? You know what? He can go DL, DH, and he can go DH at 35 and be totally fine. Just go ahead.
I hear you. No, the logic of what you're saying. I'll just say it real quick, and then we'll go back to Sixers. The logic of what you're saying is spot on. I just know this team. I understand Dombrowski's here, and that gives me a little bit of hope. They're not going over the luxury tax. Because in past years when they were set up to win and we were that one or two players away pitching or trade and they're like, oh, well, we're not going to do it because if we do, we do, we don't, we don't. I know McPhail's finally somewhat out of the building, even though he's in here. You know, he's technically still here, but he's not making any decisions. But I'll believe when I see it. I'm not holding my hope on that they'll finally go over the luxury tax.
Oh, I will. Just because they better. That's all.
Oh, no, you're right. They better. Yeah.
Not hope.
If there was ever a time for them to do it, it's with Dave Dombrowski as their general manager.
If they don't do it now and aren't willing to do it now, then they never will be.
Like, he's the antithesis of spend stupid money and do crazy-ass trades.
Philly Sports Passion, 5 for 125. I got no problem with that.
You can keep it under 120. That'd be awesome. I just don't see that happening.
Phillies Sportsman, I think their pen's going to be better this year already, but we'll see.
Low risk, high reward. That's basically going to be their pen this year.
I think they're going to add on. They got guys in the farm system, too, that they just need to give opportunities to as well. I guess, are you talking about me, Tom? I don't know if you're talking about me, but yeah. Ziggy says, big money, baby. They better spend it. Like they print it. I think
that's what we wanted the last 2 years.
Spidey says 5 for 140. Fuck it.
Basically,
that's where I'm at too. Like that's aggressive. That's aggressive, but I don't give a shit. I watch the Yankees aggressive all the time. I watch the Red Sox for a long period of time be aggressive and go win championships. Like I watch the Dodgers be aggressive and go win championships. Like You don't realize that you got to two things. You got to spend money in baseball, and you got to develop a farm system. And if you don't do them two things, you ain't winning jack shit. And that's how baseball goes. So right now, they do one thing horrendously, so they better then you got to do the other thing 10 times more. That's on you, not on me. I didn't do it. I didn't have a shit farm system. You guys did. So now you got to overspend. Not my fault. If you want us to watch, that's what you got to do. Yeah, I'm Tom. And I don't know if we can sign Trevor Bauer too. Now we're getting.
That'd be nice.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Can I just not have
10 second Tom. Hi, I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. Can I just not have to watch what's his name? Vince Velasquez another year as a starter? That'd be nice. I deserve nice things.
Can't help you there.
I know. It's going to happen again, Tom, and I'm going to start crying, and it's just going to hurt me.
I think they got enough arms. I don't think you're going to see them in that role.
That's what I thought. Well, then again, I thought he would be okay last year, and he couldn't even be good enough to get on the fucking field.
He's not going to be our fifth. I mean, I don't see
maybe six. I mean, look, if he's your sixth starter, or like your bullpen guy, like it's not that bad for what is it, $4 million?
Yeah, he's a long reliever. That's what
I can handle that. I think Vince Velasquez is one of the most frustrating pitchers I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know why he's even frustrating to you. He has no other. What's frustrating? He has no other pitch. He has a fastball. What do you fucking do? There's nothing frustrating. The whole league throws hard. There's never been anything that ever bought me into Vince Velasquez. Everybody else that went all 6 at midnight because he came here and had like 15, 16 strikeouts and thought we were getting Roger fucking Clemens or Nolan Ryan were delusional anyway. So I could tell from day one, you got a great fastball. Whoop-de-do. The whole league's got fastballs. And guess what the whole league does well? Hits fastballs. So you need to have at least 3 pitchers, and you better have 2 damn good ones if you want to be a starter in this league. They rat him out through a shit time in this organization, and if he touches the starting rotation, I will purposely catch a charge at Citizens Bank Park. You heard it here. Unless there's 45 fucking injuries. I don't care if you got to go to Lakewood and grab a puppy. I don't care if you got to get a guy who's literally just got into the country. I don't care. You understand? Like, I don't care. Well, first off, we don't address. We don't even our Latin American scouting is the worst of all time. The worst of all time.
It's not even. I didn't even know it existed anymore.
Yeah, right. It's been go back 500 years. 500 years. 500 years. The whole league knows. Like, I can go, and when I'm in Dominican, I always have fun with the guys. I said, you guys' feet work just beautifully. I mean, he's got great footwork, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's just everything. And they all laugh because baseball is their thing. They get it. I'm like, I don't understand why. I'm like, my feet are slow as shit. Like, I got to do 1 million drills for this kind of footwork. But guess what? Every kid from those types of countries, right?
They're unreal.
They work their ass off too. So you're getting 2 things. You're getting kids that are like, we talk about like Patrick Surtain because of daddy. Like, you're getting kids that's all they know. That's all they know. That's all they do all day. And if you're really good, then that's definitely all you do all day down there. And that's the kind of shit that I don't understand this organization. So people want to talk about bad organization in this city. It's the Philadelphia Phillies are like the Flyers. It's like go outside of it a little bit. Like, I mean, hop a flight one time. I mean, Christ, I'll go do it for you. Okay? And I'll bring you back freaking 5-star recruits like I'm Nick fucking Saban. Okay? This is a disgrace. I now watch teams spend stupid money on, I forget, because baseball got all these weird analogies, but you get like the you can sign like a puppy, you know what I mean? You can sign like I forget what they can do, but like from like you see it all the time from like Latin American countries. What's that signing called? Like you can I
know what you're talking about too.
They never did it. That's the point. They've never done it. I don't think they've ever done it. Like, I literally don't think. Maybe I gotta go look it through a note or two, but I don't think they've ever done it. And it's the biggest crock of shit in baseball history. It's a joke. It's a joke. Every team does. Every team. I'm not telling you there's not great baseball players inside this country, because there sure as hell is. But to be a great organization and you're allowed to circle the fucking globe for talent and you don't, you're doing a disservice to your whole organization. I mean, Leslie, tell me, somebody name me Somebody name me a homegrown Latin American star here.
Oh, Double. Maybe.
Stop it. He's not homegrown. He's from freaking Texas. He was in Texas first, so he don't even count. And he don't
really?
count.
I thought he was a Rule 5 guy.
He's too handsy to count. Reportedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
We'll do 10 hours. We'll do a show till next year. Maybe they'll get somebody next year because that's the point. They have it.
He's still under contract, right? By the way.
Yeah.
What's it like, 15 mil or something like that? Something ridiculous. Oh, 10. Oof.
Oh.
Why haven't we cut him yet? Like, he's clearly not coming back.
Quentin, he's not homegrown. We traded for him.
That doesn't even count. It's like you're getting somebody else's. Like, I mean, it's somebody one time. That's all I've been asking for. Like, one time. Like, you know what I mean? It's amazing. Other teams can find talent elsewhere.
Would we count Sixto, even though he never played here?
Sure, we'll count him. What the fucking do?
I was trying. I was reaching out of my bag of tricks for you, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, in reality, sure, yes.
Our Latin American scouting program sucks, but to be fair, 99% of our scouting sucks. So
true.
Par for the course for Philadelphia.
Oh, we find a white guy though. I mean, you got no problem finding a white guy. Been doing that for years.
Really? I mean,
look through. Are you okay? Look through all the names. It's like Patty B, Chase, right? I mean, and Alec Baum. Like, we got no problem circling America, babe. We got no problem on Route 66. You know what I'm saying? But we got an issue. We don't know what the fuck to do when we go off route. You know what I mean? When we go off that road, driving across the U.S., we don't know what to do. Because obviously, when you talk about these real good organizations, they got scouting departments down there. The Yankees probably do illegal shit. Like, I feel like they're signing kids at 11. They got great footwork. Like, I don't believe, you know what I'm saying? Like, already in cahoots. Like, we bought mommy and daddy a brand new house. Nobody knows, right? That's the kind of shit you can get away with.
They got training facilities overseas.
Yeah,
training facilities out there.
Get your hands dirty a little bit. Do some illegal shit. Freaking Alabama does it every year. in a different way. I mean, print some money out. I didn't know Panama does. I didn't know that.
Hey, Sportsman 22, you're hired because you knew something. You probably know something the Phillies don't realize.
How to scout talent.
What'd you say?
How to scout talent.
Oh yeah, that's it. You know, we don't scout.
Tom, can you be their head scout? Because I feel like you could find some gems, and they couldn't find their asshole. So,
I would love for you to tell me Tom, send you a Dominican. You know what I mean? I'll be on the flight. Back to. Well, anybody got anything else in Sixers related?
No. I'm cool.
No, I feel like we've touched on basically everything.
Ben didn't. Hey, I mean, it crossed a little ball.
Ben had a nice game.
Yeah, Ben didn't piss me off. Tobias played well.
Ryan, what was his stat? What was his stat line for the night? Ben.
What? Oh, 15. Hold on. 15.
I know he had 11 assists. He ended with like 11 assists.
Yep. That gets people,
6 boards.
People hard, Joe. You know what I mean? Like, watch all the people there.
All right, so this will be the determining factor, though, Tom, because I obsessed with it on Wednesday. How many turnovers did he have?
2.
Let's go.
Rise back.
I feel like I know I'm supposed to care about his turnovers, but like he's the primary ball handler.
You're the biggest. Stop it. You don't even. I'm not even gonna let you do it anymore. And I love Ben, but you are the definition of like you're like mommy at the game. You know what I mean? You're so invested into him that he could literally go 0 for 8.
No.
You would point out a plus minus.
He said, no.
I give him shit. No, I will give him shit for his last like 5 or 6 games. He's played like dog shit.
Last 5 or 6? What about the entire season?
I was just going to say.
I think he's been up and down this season. He had some good moments. Mostly the bad is sadly outweighed the good this season.
Okay, let me know what up games there were, and I'll go back and watch because I didn't see them. My TV must have had no cable that night. I didn't see.
The night was good. He's had some good games, obviously, because
he's had some good games, but
I didn't say he had great games. He did good.
Well, I need some great games to go over whatever the hell all the other games have been.
I would like some great games.
Number one overall pick, max type player. I don't give a damn about the 3-point. I just do everything that we saw in that fourth quarter. Everyone's saying, "Oh, you, Ryan and Tom, you guys are unfair." How are we unfair? Everything he was in this game, especially in that fourth quarter, that's all I ask. Get me 15 points, less than 5 turnovers a game, do the same thing you do with assists and defense. I'll shut my mouth. I don't care.
Well, you can look at right, Kyrie probably took 45 million shots tonight, had 3 assists. Okay, so there's 2 ways of looking about how you want it, right?
Joe.
Look, I'm sorry, Joe. If you
got bamboozled, I got attacked.
If there was ever a season where you can shit on Ben Simmons and hear nothing from me, it's this season.
Joe
deserves all his fucking lumps right now.
No, he does. I feel like Joe got set up into this. Like, send me a link. Oh, by the way, the Nets lost. We're gonna hammer you. No, but I would be.
They lost the last 2.
I'd be comparing the same situation because I look at like 11 assists is important too. Like the fact that he's a pass first guy is important.
Yep.
You know, because you're running the show. But that I never will criticize that. I just criticize when the opportunities arise for you to be aggressive. You have to be aggressive, and that's my biggest gripe. So it's never going to be about him being an unselfish player when, you know, I want the ball going through Joel Embiid first. Like I want ball movement. I want open looks. And he gets guys a lot of open looks. So, I mean, that's always been an MO of him and something he's done extremely well. But he should never have sort of 3 boards like he did tonight either. I mean, he's 6'11". He should never have 3 boards ever. Like fucking ever. I'm 6'2", and I'm going to go get handsy and physical. I'll be like Dennis Rodman. I'm going to pull down 6, and you're like, oh, my God, who is this guy? You know what I mean? Like the fan base will love me.
Guy in a wedding dress.
Yeah, like the guy has no vertical, but just got a big ass, and I use it. So I don't want to hear shit. Like 3 rebounds is now unacceptable, but I give him a pass tonight because in the big moments of this basketball game, when Boston said hello to us and made their little run, which everybody does, he answered the call. And that's all that goddamn matters, and the book shuts. Now, I don't expect you to do that every time in the fourth quarter because there's other guys that are going to be impactful fourth quarter players, right? So if you don't do it in the fourth, I need you to have a little outburst in the second then, or a little outburst in the third, right? Like, I don't need him. Again, I don't need Ben Simmons to score 25. Some people do. I need Ben Simmons to walk into 15 to 18 a night and then get 10 boards, have 12 assists. That's a star. 20, 12, and 10. Now we're talking a star. 12, 9, and 8, like it is right now, that's not a star. That's a good player. It's not a star, though. And it's not all numbers. His defense is extremely, extremely good. But that doesn't take away. I factor that in to make him a really good player right now. But if you want to go to star player, you walk in 18 a night and you do them things. So hopefully I saw Sam Cassell give him a high five tonight. Like some of the things he's doing. I like that there's veterans. I like this coaching staff. And I said it the other night, I'm not trading Ben Simmons, period, this year because we talked about accountability and all this other bullshit. And we finally got a coaching staff in that's going to do that. That's not the time to get rid of a guy. That's not the time. So we'll give it this year, and we'll see if there's development. And by the end of this year, if we feel like there's been development and he's gotten better, this whole chat needs to shut it down in terms of dealing.
It's true. It's true.
But what about Zach LaVine? We could trade for Zach LaVine.
I don't want to trade for anybody.
I could say Kyrie if y'all want. No,
I don't want
okay.
Knock it off.
If I'm you, Joe, I'm calling the Wizards right now, trying to get an OKC.
I wish. Yeah. I would. No. Hell no.
You think he's a head case everywhere else?
Oh, well, you think
him?
I do. I honestly, I don't like Kyrie. I'm a huge hater of Kyrie, but I'm good on Russell Westbrook too.
Wait, hold on. Did you think I was about to say Bradley Beal?
Oh yeah, I would love Brad.
I'm not giving you Bradley.
No, you think reunite the big four?
I'm good on that. They could take DeAndre Jordan. You know, he got nice braids. He got really nice braids. Y'all could take DeAndre Jordan.
It's going to be LeBron.
Kyrie.
LeBron versus, 2012
whatever first
OKC.
round picks we ever may have again in our lifetime. You can have them all. Just give us Bradley Beal.
What are they going to say about? That'd be funny if they got the whole group back together. And
they just need Serge.
For
good old OKC reunion.
See what Thabo's doing. See what Cephalosha's doing.
He's available. He worked out with us last year.
Philly Sports Passion, better coaching staff, Sixers or Flyers? It's the Sixers.
Sixers, yeah, no doubt.
And it's easy to answer that after last night when the Flyers coughed up a hockey game. I mean, they'll cough up a hockey game. So I don't want to hear. Listen, we'll say this a million times. I don't want to hear about injuries. I don't want to hear about the rest. Okay, they got to learn how to start closing. Okay, because that's the big issue has been closing for them. So until they figure out how to close, I don't know what to tell the Flyers, but not a good start for Carter Hart. And I don't give a shit about defense. Like, there's been times he stood on his head, and the last two outings didn't look good. And I don't like that Lavalliette pulled him 3 games ago in that game, because that game was obviously on the defense. So I like everyone wants to crown Lavalliette. That's a bad fucking benching, you idiot. You got a young goaltender. All right, grow up. You can't bench him in that game where it's on the defense. You're not going to give your team a spark, okay? And then you don't get in the guy's head. And then you're playing Elliott the next night anyway. There's no reason or point to even sit him down in that game.
No, it's a lost cause at that point. To Robert California's comment, Robert, I say as somebody who I am a Zach LaVine fanboy, okay?
Garbage stats.
With that being said, Zach LaVine would be amazing on this team. I don't know why you guys hate him. Nobody's hating on him. Maybe Tom a little bit. But it's reasonable because we're not trading Ben Simmons for him. We're not trading Tobias Harris for him. We're obviously not trading Joel Embiid for him, to where if they want to take like Matisse Thybulle and some bench players and Danny Green, okay, then I will have that conversation. But anyone coming in here saying, oh, we're trading Ben Simmons or Tobias for him, that's just not in the cards right now. Tobias Harris, if he continues playing like this, he's an all-star. Like, he is playing all-star caliber basketball right now.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Joel Embiid,
you're changing your whole thing, because now you have to put Zach LaVine has to run the point. So now you're definitely getting nothing out of Ben Simmons then. Like, nobody thinks about that. Like, oh, you're going to move Ben to the 4? Like, that's stupid. Like, you get more production from Ben as a point guard than you are as a 4. So why would you even, like, contemplate that? That's, like, my issue is, like, people want, trade the bias, and you got to move Ben to the 4, and LaVine becomes your point guard, essentially, because he needs the ball in his hands a ton. He needs the ball in his hands. That's how, not a ton.
I hear what you're saying. He wouldn't play point, though. He'd be 2. Because he can play off ball. He can.
I know he can. He's a 1 or a 2. He's a combo guard. But the point is like you're probably not going to play him at the 2, or you're going to do a combo of it. I understand it can work, but now I'm taking a guy, now making my 4 position. I weaken my 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, my whole issue with all this trade talk and why I refuse to do it and even have conversations about it is because this team is freaking extremely good when they've all been on the court. Extremely good. They move the basketball. They get open looks. All right? They play good defense. They're unselfish with each other. Shit, that's what wins. Like, I don't – like, you go get a Zach LaVine, that might be great, but he comes from a losing culture. That's not all his fault. But everywhere he's been, they stunk. This is the first time he's actually on a decent basketball team. Like, the first time that they're actually, like, decent, where you can make cases like the Bulls could win tonight. Like, you can say that now a little bit more. And that's the help of Kobe White and other guys getting older there too, because they're young. They got a lot of young guys. So I mean, I'm just not a big Zach LaVine guy.
And like, the only way I would entertain it is if I truly felt we were 1 score away from being a contender for the championship. That's not the case.
I still feel like we are though.
What, that we are a score away?
No, that we're a contender.
I agree. My point is, like, say for example, Tobias was like playing like he was last season, like he was, he wasn't very good, or Ben was really bad, or Shake Milton wasn't having the season. Like, you look at scoring, and I understand, like, me included, like, you can put me at the top of this list that I obsessed over Ben Simmons scoring the basketball more than the past 3 seasons. But aside from Ben Simmons, okay, you have Shake Milton, who an all addition. I mean, he's basically a new player because we didn't see Shake Milton like this last year. So he's a big time scorer. Tyrese Maxey, if you need him to be a scorer off your bench, you got it. Then you got Tobias and obviously Joel. Seth Curry can flat out shoot it, and he wasn't even friggin' in shape tonight. He was on a minutes restriction. Danny Green's going to get his. He's not going to make 9 threes in the game, and he's not going to go 0 for 9, but he'll get you some threes, and he'll get you some defensive help. That's all scoring right there. And I'm not even mentioning Furkan, who can get you, a couple threes in the game.
Yeah, and Danny did a real good job on Jaylon Brown 2 games in a row, in my opinion. He made him work. You know?
That's what's up.
And nobody talks about that. Everybody wants to talk about offensive stuff. Like you win by when good coaches come places and they say you got to play defense to win. They're not making that up. They're not saying you're not supposed to score, but they're it's truthful. The team that wants to play the most defense in this league that has talent is going to be the one that wins it. It's just that simple. Who wants to be Pomsy when the time comes, right? You can't stink and just play great defense, right? You obviously have to have star power, but we do. We do. Who has all this star power out of the Nets? Where's all the star power? It's a bunch of 2 guys. You got 2 guys, 2 guys, 2 guys, 2 guys. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's got a 2-peat, right?
It's only one other team, but I've said for years, I I just never buy into them, and that's Milwaukee. I just don't buy into and Giannis is, he's a back-to-back MVP, so I'm not saying he's a scrub.
He has no mid-range game, right?
He is a liability in the playoffs because they beat it. They beat him. I'm telling you, what's going to happen, and it's not his fault, but Giannis is going to end up getting this coach fired because Budenholzer's a hell of a coach, but you're going to see in the playoffs again, unless they adjust, they're going to keep playing him one way where they pass it to him at the top of the key and he runs forward. All they do is they do the Great Wall of China defense, or the same thing they do with Simmons, where they just, they picket fence it off. Mm-hmm. That's all you got to do in the playoffs to stop Giannis. Yeah. Because either he's missing a shot or he's getting to the line, and he still isn't good enough at the line yet. So we're they have a really deep bench. They have players, and then obviously I love Holiday and Middleton, but in the playoffs I just don't buy them yet. And they're not. And to your point earlier, they're not playing well right now.
Your best player's got to be able to shoot. Your best player's got to be at least able to just not be everything, get to the lane. And that way, you have to be able to have a 15-footer that you can bury like Joel Embiid's been burying, right? I look at all these teams and I say, you got a 2-piece, you got a 2-piece, you got a 2-piece, everybody got a 2-piece. We got a 2.5-piece if you count Ben and Tobias together. You know what I mean? It's not full 3. It's a 2.5-piece.
Yeah. Right? And no matter how fast the NBA gets, I feel like if you can't beat your opponent up in one game, you're not going to win in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Not to keep on bringing up the Nets, but you look at them down low, they can't beat you up for one game. So if you can stop the scoring, which is possible, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has bad games. If you can't beat the other team up down low, it's gonna be a very rough time. And again, that's why that Dwight Howard pickup was so big, because if Joel Embiid needs some rest, you're still beating people up down low. So it is what it is.
Philly sports passion, you're 100% right. That's a damn good 3. Jaylon Brown and Walker. That's a loaded up 3-piece right there.
UConn. Shout out to Kemba Walker.
Yeah, none of our problem is they don't have enough bigs to be able to play with us. And I even think Milwaukee would beat them too, because they're just Milwaukee's too big for them. And they gotta have. They can do it. I feel the same way I feel about the Nets. At least I know Boston's gonna play defense. Then the Nets might score 140 and give up 160. Because nobody plays D. Your best defender is probably DeAndre Jordan, which is a shame, or Kevin Durant, which has never been known as a great defender. He's just lengthy. You know what I mean? That's a problem. You got to be able to play some D. When you talk about the Warriors run, everybody wants to be the Warriors again. Look at their defenders. First team all defensive guys all over the court. Steph didn't have to play defense because Draymond and Clay are going to play a ton of defense. And they always had some type of rim protector that could play D. So until guys buy into playing defense, at least I know that night in, night out, Ben, Danny, Tobias, Joe, them guys are going to play D. They're going to play D. They're going to be physical. They're going to get hands up. I'm not talking about the rest of the roster. I'm talking about them four I know, night in, night out, are going to play defense.
I'll give you guys, Philly Sports Passion brings up the Celtics, right? I'll give you a hot take. I don't even know if it's a hot take. I'll just give you a bold prediction. I think Kemba gets traded.
They're going to do it again, though. They're going to do it again with another point guard.
That's what I was thinking.
Like with another point guard they're going to get rid of. Like they got rid of Kyrie, and then they brought Kemba in. They gave him a mass deal. They're going to get rid of him too. Like right now, when they have a chance to like if you look at the East, like outside of us, who are they worried about? Like they're the second best team in the East, essentially. Like known that they can ball. Like they have chemistry and they can ball.
I'll say in the next 12 months. I'll say in the next year he'll get traded.
Okay, fair. Next year, fair. This year I don't see it, but next year for sure. I mean, it's a big deal they gave him, but Kemba's a pimp. I mean, they're not. They need to get bigs, and until they get a big, they ain't playing with us. But nobody's going. They're not going. I don't care if they played or not. Yes, that matters to them, but like these are two big wins for the Sixers. So we'll move on for the Sixers.
Go Nets.
Philly Sports Passion. That's not a hot take.
No, I mean he's played freaking like 18 games from college and the pros. Like right now, he's played like 18 games. Like he's a freaking. You want to talk about? You want to talk about Poppy? You want to talk about Poppy? I mean, Wiseman like Poppy. Like Wiseman like in the bottle. Like you know what I mean? And what a place to go though for pros. At least you thought until Drake Gate. Being late. For Drake Gate, you thought it was a good vet. That's just gonna happen. I love when the media makes it. Oh my god, look at the Warriors. Like, can guys can't have any fun. Like guys are gonna be late to shit. Guys are gonna mess up. We witnessed it here with AI for freaking 42 years. It felt like, but he dropped what 40 points like 900 times. So I mean, take the good and the bad, babe. Take the good and the bad.
Colin, I hear you. I thought I was for sure thinking that they were going to get him sometime this offseason.
Yeah.
And I think they missed their window. I think they missed their window because I don't see Indiana unless they don't play well over the next handful, of weeks to months. I mean, Miles Turner is going to be a huge part of them, in the playoffs. So they might have missed their window there.
Well, first of all, yeah, Danny Ainge hasn't been as good. I want to confirm that with the people. Hasn't been as good as the hero and movies getting written about him after the fleece job with the Sixers. Hasn't been as good since he bent Brian Colangelo over. So
not hard to do, by the way.
What'd you say?
Not hard to do, by the way.
No. I mean, Brian's own wife bent him over. But John Lynch says
allegedly,
everything's speculation. John wants to know, Tom, do you give Joel a rest day tomorrow in Detroit?
No, minutes restriction. Because I think the game's I can't do it because of their size.
Yeah, I'll try to give him 25. Maybe I can get 25 out of Dwight. You know what I mean? I won't need 25 out of both, but you guys know what I mean. Like if I can, it's got to matter. We're not playing 50 minutes.
If they handle their business, tomorrow night.
My bad. I'll see you guys later.
No, but to your point, Tom, like we said, 20, 25 minutes. And if they handle their business tomorrow, if they handle Jeremy Grant, I mean, Detroit is Detroit. So where Joel should be sitting out most of the fourth anyway, because we should have a healthy lead if we handle our business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, agreed. So, yeah, I mean, can other guys come to play? And I swear I'm going to punch Pete in the face. I might square him up later. I mean, the guy's a train wreck with his phone right now.
He's teasing me. Get
on a laptop. You and Noah should go and do you have to take a course like before coming in. Like Noah needs a course too. He's old
live stream etiquette.
These live stream guys. These old school guys in the live stream. Noah's camera flipped 42 times. Pete's camera flipped 82.
Noah got it. To Noah's defense, he did get attacked by his dog twice on the show.
True.
What would you do if you were his dog?
Oh, I hear you. No, get out of there.
I forgot I had a dog for a minute.
Yeah. Oh, where it come from?
Are we sure it's
came
not
in
the
my
dog
house.
who got
I don't know what
attacked?
happened.
Are you sure? Has anybody checked on the dog since?
That might have been a call for help from the dog.
Yeah, we might want to. Has anybody checked his food bowl? Where is he at? Where is he at? Someone, can we get a visual?
Visual confirmation on the dog.
On another note, outside of dog gate.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's get away from that.
Get out of the big spectrum.
And insert the Biden meme. Insert the Biden meme.
Yeah, just sitting there.
Careful what you say, Joe. You got headhunters out there. Careful what we say here. No, say whatever.
Nothing political.
No, we don't censor shit here. You know what I mean? Let it fly. But what was I going to say? Oh, Eagles. New head coach. We're now about a little over 24 hours away from the news. And I don't know. I want to like the guy. I really want to like the guy. But it's hard to like it's hard to like anything this organization's a part of right now. Like I don't know. Like I don't care about his experience on play calling. It just I don't know. I think the guy can be a good coach. I like the fact that he's younger. Maybe can relate to players better, right? Maybe can be more open-minded offensively. I think he's came from a lot of different offensive trees that if he can put it all together, I think they have good offense. I think he'll run the football. I think he'll help develop players. But then the biggest question comes down to how good of a leader can he be? And that's the question we don't know, and we don't know the staff. But just in terms of the hire, I don't hate it, right? But like when we hired Doug, I was excited, and there was some people that were happy about it, but I was excited because I was like, all right, I love Andy, and Doug's been around winners his whole life, and that showed in 2017 when nobody wanted to talk about what he said during the spring. When he said, this team reminds me of the Packers teams I was on, and the media crushed him for it. Not HUD, but the rest of the media wanted to bend him over for that comment, which was a comment that obviously was right. Mm-hmm. Right? So, I mean, listen, Doug being gone, fine. But I don't know. Like, I feel like, you're going to a Frank tree and I know it's not a total Frank tree, but my only concern is this guy's never been past a divisional round.
Go back to your last comment though, Tom. Stand your ground. It is a Frank tree, and it's ridiculous because I didn't know Frank had a damn tree. I didn't know we had since when do we have a Frank tree?
It's a bush. It's a bush.
Yes, it's absolutely. Listen, I'm not gonna rip it because really, I don't think if it was Doug Peterson, if it's Josh McDaniels, if it's Nick Sirianni, I don't think any of these coaches are making this team. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's going to make or break this team being a 2-win football team or a 12-win football team. There's a lot of other factors that come into this, starting with this quarterback, okay? And I get it to where, hey, this was the move to get Carson back in rhythm. Okay, but do you need to go to the guy that everyone's saying? And I guess it's true now. I guess this is now by default. That report is true to where, hey, Carson only trusted Frank Reich. Mm-hmm. Because they went to the Frank Reich, but not Frank Reich. If there was somebody that was Frank Reich but didn't look like him or wasn't actually him, it would be this guy. The assistant to the offense, the guy who was second in command as far as schematics in the offense along with Frank Reich. Mm-hmm. I mean, my God. It's like their
offense. Their offense in a playoff game against Buffalo was atrocious.
Yes.
Especially in the 2-minute drill. So, I get it. Everybody wants to go to Sean McVay and freaking drawing a blank on the guy in Green Bay.
Kingsbury.
No, Green Bay. Oh,
LaFleur.
Right, everybody wants to go with the younger guy and the hot name, and Jeffrey Lurie wants offense. And I know Jeffrey Lurie has hired good names before, but I don't know. TPB's right because the roster's not good. Ooh. But it comes down to Carson.
What Dan said.
Look, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the pick. I'm not mad at the hire. I'm not mad at the man.
Sorry, Joe.
I'm sorry.
Look at the comment.
Dan said, quick hit from Ben tonight on criticism this year was his scoring being down. I don't go on Instagram. I don't go on Twitter. So I really don't see what people are saying. I don't give a fuck, honestly. I love it.
Damn.
I love it.
Y'all wanted aggression. Yeah, y'all wanted aggression, right?
I don't give a shit about that. That doesn't bother me.
I wish Carson would say that same thing. I wish Carson would come out and say that same thing.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
I'm not mad at the hire. I don't know enough about the guy. I don't think anybody realistically knows much about the guy outside of the people that interviewed him, I guess. Yeah. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm more, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm more upset that it feels like we did it with the mindset of fixing Carson. Mm-hmm. Reason being is I feel like this whole team was trash, right? We complained over and over and over about how this whole team needs to be fixed. How it wasn't just Carson. People argued when he got benched that it wasn't just on Carson. Why is he getting benched? He's the scapegoat. Well, then let's fix the team, because if we just, no matter how good we make Carson Wentz, if our team is terrible, if he has less than 2.5 seconds to throw the ball, he's not going to be good. If our wide receivers are not good, he's not going to be good. If our defense, has paper mache, ghosts out there from our Halloween, projects or whatever, our team is not going to look good. So it's just to go into it with the mindset of let's fix Carson is a very worrisome thing for me. It's a cool thing to say, have a plan for the quarterbacks, no matter who the quarterback is. But Carson wasn't the issue last year. He was an issue, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't the issue. So while I'm not mad at the hire, and the more that I read about him and the people that he has around him, possibly coming in, because I've heard names like Anthony Lynn, I've heard Jonathan Gannon. Mm-hmm. I like Gannon. I don't know too much about Lynn, but the more I read about Gannon, I love him as a defensive coordinator, possibly.
Who? What's his name?
His name is Jonathan Gannon. He was a DB's coach from the Colts. So it's a little bit, picking from that bush again. But, the more that you look at him, he has a crazy track record of, developing talent, and he's been on great defenses. And it's no coincidence that you're continuously on that staff. No matter what your role is, you have some part in that. So, at the risk of ranting too long, the only thing I'm mad about is the mindset behind the hire. Mm-hmm. The hire itself isn't too bad to me. I think he could be good. We don't know.
Maybe he's the answer. But
maybe.
I agree with what you said. I don't trust the people doing it. And I want my franchise quarterback to have a part in the hire, but it can't be the end all be all of the hire. Mm-hmm. Like, it can't be like, okay, this guy's gonna fix Carson, we're good. There's so many more issues that are gonna play into that. Listen, I want to be glass half full. I want to be pom fucking Tom. But it's just hard. It's hard with Howie Roseman. Do I trust Jeffrey Lurie and his head coaching searches over the years? Sure. All right. But what I don't trust is a guy who I feel like, as an owner, wants to be fucking Jerry Jones. I don't trust that. He's had his hands in way too much stuff. Like you are not a player personnel. Mm-hmm. Right? When you own a big time company like this, it's a reason you hire people. And if you don't trust the people you hired, then fire them. You can't have it both ways. Mm-hmm. You own a team, you sign off on the checks.
What is this?
And I feel like he had too much say in this hire. Maybe he didn't. The Dan Orlovsky comments seem more true than ever. In like, his biggest lover essentially was Frank Reich, and he didn't love anybody else. Could never trust anybody, which I find to be a little bit of bullshit. Okay, I really do. I just think it's convenient. But I'll say this. Okay, because this looks like you just went and tried to get somebody that can be best buddies with a guy. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I need fucking accountability in the room. That's what I was looking for. And if this doesn't create accountability, then it's a lost cause. This organization has to let him go work with other people outside the organization as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't know. I'm like so indifferent, guys. I mean, go ahead, Jake. I'm just indifferent.
Yeah. Like when the hiring happened initially, I think everyone kind of had the same idea. They're kind of like, who? What? Who? But kind of like as the days gone on, I don't necessarily love it, but I don't hate it either. My only issue is, and Joe touched on it, is they're focused more on Carson Wentz than the team as a whole. Now, again, could he be a good coach? Maybe. I just don't know enough about him, and there's not enough of a track record for me to really go off of anything. But I really need to see just kind of like who he brings in as far as his offensive D coordinator, assistant, so on and so forth. And I've started to see on social media people starting to ask the question, what does that mean for Deuce? Does Deuce stay? Does Deuce possibly leave? I know there was an alleged report that possibly Nagy might want him to go to the Bears. So, I mean, we might see a couple of changes here and there, but I don't love the hire, but I don't hate it. My only concern is that they're focused too much on Carson as far as the hire goes and not the team as a whole. Because like Tom said, we have so many more issues from top to bottom.
Yeah.
And what if Carson does, you know, I'm not trying to be a hater. It is what it is. I love Carson Wentz. Mm-hmm. But what if he does suck? What if he sucks? You know what I'm saying? What if he did regress? We're going to lose this coach because you know that's what's going to happen. Most likely. We're going to keep on trying to fix Carson Wentz before we just say, all right, whatever. Like, that's what scares me. And I'm not saying, you know, throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm not saying throw Carson out of this, you know, organization, but we have to be realistic. We have to be smart. If he doesn't want to fight for his job, it doesn't make sense to keep him, in my opinion, right now, and to hire a coach for him, and because then you're married at the hip with him. So if Carson doesn't do good, then this coach didn't do good. Is that what we're, you know, what if we have a top 5 defense and a bottom 30 offense because Carson Wentz sucks? You know what I'm saying? Like we can be stuck in we thought this year was bad. We can be stuck in such a bad situation next year.
I wasn't even there, Joe, but now you're putting that in my head. Ugh.
We have a little value in him right now.
I don't know. Yeah. I want to. They're tied to him any way you want to look at it. So, you know, this ship sinks if he sinks. So, I mean, I think it's as easy as that too, because they're tied into the money. They're the one who wrote the check.
Yep.
They put themselves in that situation. So if he does stink, I mean, we're in trouble. And if he can air quote fix him, then I guess we're in a better situation, obviously. You know, if he can get back to some semblance of who he was before, we're in way better shape. Family, at the 11:30 mark, so in about 20 minutes, you open up the phone. We all open up the phone lines, get you in here. You get 2 minutes to rant or be happy, whatever you want to be. And you can talk about whatever you want. You get 2 minutes. You can say whatever you want. You say, Tom, you're a jerk off. Blah, 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 blah. You get it all out. Blah, blah, blah.
Can I ask you a question?
Question away.
Yeah.
So theoretically, let's say we go next year, right? And we go 8-8, but Carson Wentz looks good. Carson Wentz looks, you know, pretty good. But our offense isn't great. You know, there's still a little bit of drama with Carson. What do we do then? You know, what would you do then?
Drama how?
It's
drama how? Drama how? Like, what? Give me a drama example. I need that.
What do you mean by drama?
Maybe something like we're seeing now, where allegedly, obviously, we don't know, but where it keeps coming up that he's changing play calls, that he's at the line chain, not maybe getting along with the coach like we thought he would. A lot of like the Doug Peterson things.
Yeah, I don't care about the play calls one bit. I mean, you're the one who's got to see what you see when that mic goes off in your headset. So I got no problem with my quarterback trying to get you into the right play. But the other stuff, like no pity party, right? No reports next year. I don't want to hear nothing bad, right? You got to come into camp and be a leader. And I agree with you. Like, I mean, honestly, if he doesn't perform next year, guys, he's going the next year anyway because the cap hits like $15 million.
Yeah, it's doable.
They don't even care. But guess what? The one thing I know about Howie Roseman, and we say everybody say whatever they want about his love for Jalen Hurts, etc. He does not like to be wrong. And Carson Wentz not being good makes him look really wrong. So they are trying everything in their power to figure him out. Hence why they just hired a 38, 39-year-old guy for the job, because they want, which could happen, right? That new voice, fresh voice, more creative style of play calling, etc., right? All that, can help this whole offense out. Look, Jeffrey Lurie doesn't care about his defense. He said it. So if he's got, which he needs to wake up and care about. That's why this staff is so important. Who the hell's defense coordinator? Because I am concerned about what my owner said on fucking TV. And Bob, that's concerning. You can't not care about defense. You can want explosive offense, but you better believe if you don't want to have the best defense, you better have a defense that takes the damn football away then. Huh. I don't care if you're bottom 10 in the league. You better be top 5 in takeaways. You don't gotta shut everybody out. The league scores. But you ain't gonna outscore everybody 50-40. Freaking idiot. He's getting the game. He's becoming an issue. I mean, he's telling John Middleton, like these are like presidential candidates, all these guys, right? Because they lie to your face, a bunch of nonsense, right? John Middleton's people should tell him, don't take a mic. Don't even stay away from a fucking microphone, right? Because Jeffrey's taking the cake right now. So stay away from a microphone for a while, because we all got them snippets of the nonsense he spewed. All right, so that's my concern. But what's your confidence level knowing that Jeffrey Lurie has done a decent job, or you can say a really good job in hiring coaches? So what's your confidence level in knowing this is Jeffrey Lurie obviously has his hands all over this one for sure. So what's your confidence level knowing that? Where he is 2 for 3, essentially, on his head coaching hires. We're pretty good. Pretty good. I got to give him credit where credit's due, though. Pretty good. Which makes me feel better. I just made myself feel better. So what do you guys say? What's your confidence level? 1 out of 10, 10 being, I've never been more confident in my lifetime. I sleep like a baby.
5.
Yeah, I'm going to go 6.
I'll be more like optimistic. I'll give him like a 7. I mean, this is, as a franchise altogether, I think this is our 25th coach. We've been around for a long time. That's not a lot of coaches. So we're not a turnstile type of team. Unfortunately, it feels like that just because it feels like Jeffrey Lurie's press conference gave a feeling of like rebuild. Like I think they kind of said 2 to 3 years, a couple more times than you want to hear. But, I think if we're decent and we see development, I think that will be fine. So I'll say 7. I think they really believe in this guy, and I really think that they're going to build a staff around him that will develop our players. And at this point, if you can do that and get us to a situation where our cap's not as bad as it is, then, hey, we might be a year away. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it like, I could give a 3 and just be, total opposite of everybody else and be the negative side of it. So I will. So, I'll give it a 3 just to play the devil's advocate of it and say, like, okay, I mean, I trust in his coaching hires. He's done a good job. There's nothing taken away from that. Okay, but you said 2 to 5 years. So you're already telling me the guy failed. If it's 5 years, then everybody failed. What are you talking about? You don't hire a coach. This isn't the NBA. Like, you're going to let Brett Brown stick around for 25 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what happens. Then that guy gets fired, another guy comes in. So unless it's a 2-year plan, he's not going to be here.
If you have a franchise quarterback, you're not talking 5 years. And just that phrase alone, them talking continuously about 2 to 5 years, that shows me that they have no idea who Carson Wentz is right now.
Well, listen, we haven't been collectively having this conversation, whatever your name is. That's too long for me to say. We just talked an hour. We talked an hour and 20 minutes of Sixers / a side of Phillies piece. So, I mean, I don't know what you guys want us to do. What am I going to pound it? Who's going to pound in? We open with Sixers. You thought you were going to compare me to Dial? You're comparing me to Dial? What are you talking about? We listened to Sixers for an hour and 18 minutes. You came into a show at a 1:30 mark. That's on you. Set your alert better, baby.
Sounds like you're late to the party, Mr. Yams.
Just wanted his comment read. He just wanted his comment read.
I mean, I can't tell you. Yo, I can't tell you how many times I open with Sixers. We open with Flyers here, right? We have a hockey dedicated show. He does dial to kiss my ass. Dial. You know what I mean? What do you want us to do? We're going to mix it up. I mean, you want me to talk Sixers for 2.5 hours? There ain't nobody does that. Nobody does that. We're going to be circle telling you the same thing. It'll be a circle jerk. Keep saying the same thing to each other. God, I don't. But I'll say that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, listen, if you hit it 6 and it's just so much. Like, I mean, you got to hit it 6 and it's got to be a guy that can be like such a game changer where he changes that side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I'm going to stick to this. Like, I don't know. I mean, they probably will go wide receiver after Jeffrey's comments and an offensive coach, blah, 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 blah. But that being said, I am so sold on Surtain that I just, like, you have an offensive-minded coach, so go defense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have an offensive-minded coach, which should get more out of your offense. Go defense then. I mean, I was going to go best player on the board. I understand that. But, like, if all 3 guys are there, Chase, Smith, and Surtain, I go Patrick Surtain. And the more people, I love him.
I'm taking Micah. I love Micah. But look, like, one thing I will say is we will learn a lot about Jeffrey's real plan or real faith in this guy once we see his contract. So it's simply because if you look at the Dolphins contract, the Dolphins head coach contract, they basically guaranteed him he wasn't going to get fired throughout the rebuilding process. So if Jeffrey Lurie really believes in this guy, I'm sure there'll be some type of clause, that it's like, we understand we might suck for a year or two and we're giving you that. And if we do, honestly, I'm okay with that. I've said for a long time, as Eagles fans, we have not really had to deal with much of a rebuilding process. Even when we were bad, we went through like a 4-12 season and went right back to being, competitive. Obviously, we weren't winning Super Bowl after Super Bowl, but we've always been a competitive team. And at some point in every franchise, you're gonna have to take that 2, maybe 3 year, pride swallowing pill, whatever you want to call it. And just you're not gonna be great. And it's not saying that you're gonna be 1-12 or 1-15 or whatever it may be, but sometimes it is what it is. You gotta, like I said, swallow that pill and just rebuild. And if they're gonna give that confidence to a coach, that might be a good thing for us, to be honest. And we see John Dorsey coming, so who knows? We might be making.
John Dorsey has no parts of this.
Yeah.
Oh no, not the head coach.
You don't want any parts of Dorsey.
I'm saying more drafting. I'm saying if we're
I'll take that.
No.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys this.
Really?
Question, right? Let me ask you. Well, stop. I mean, I'm not listening. Pete says about football, Mr. Cleveland Brown. Okay, so you're going to be anti-Dorsey.
I don't know what the issue is.
Who got you everybody you wanted, Peter?
his drafting was good.
The whole football team is going to John Dorsey. What are you doing? Have some respect. It's like not having respect for Ed Wade's pick. Of drafting a Ryan Howard and Chase Utley and those guys. Have a little respect. But no, back to the Eagles. Another question for you guys. Both things are on the board. Offense, defense. You don't got to give me a player. You just have to give me what side of the football are you going with if all your big names are on the board. Like anybody you want's there, you can give me a player if you want to, but I really want to look more positionally, not positionally, but what side of the football you're more looking for right now. Because you believe that the young offensive weapons on this team can get better, right? Then you would say, okay, maybe defense, right? If you feel like you don't trust anything offensively, then obviously I feel guys will lean offensively. To me, I'll say that last time, like, hey, we got an offensive-minded coach. We have young skill position players. Maybe he can develop. We have a quarterback, right? Hopefully. And we don't have our defense. We don't know what it's going to look like. So I'll go to defense side of the football if it's all there. So whoever wants to go next, go ahead. What side of the football are you going? Family, let us know out
there. With me, I just have a feeling, and again, this is just me. I'm going offense just mainly because the young offensive coach, he wants his young player that's really his pick, if that makes sense. So to me, I mean, I'd like to have defense.
Yeah, you're giving them control then.
Right.
Yeah. He said you're telling it. You're saying that he has a little bit of control in the room then.
He wants his guy.
Which would be an okay thing. So, you know what I mean? Go ahead.
Yeah, he wants he'll want his guy that's part of his system that he can bring right in. And also, we don't really know what Jalen Reagor is and some of these younger guys. I mean, Quez Watkins and John Hightower, they showed flashes, but we don't know what they are either. And you have Alshon leaving and Deshaun Jackson's leaving as well. So, again, I can understand them bringing in another wide receiver. But to me, like I said, you have a young offensive guy in Nick Sirianni, and to me, the writing's on the wall for an offensive player.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean it is. But one other thing though, when you say offensive player too, you got to remember something. Like you just named a bunch of young wide receivers,
right?
So there's 4 young wide receivers on this team, right? That's including Umbrella Boy. There's 4 young wide receivers, right?
Yep.
But there is. Like, I'm going back to that. I love Devontae Smith. Okay. Like I was on Devontae Smith train week 1 because all I do is watch fucking Bama. Okay, I watch big boy football. I don't watch freaking cute shit. Okay, I mean Devontae can play, but the fact of the matter is, how many are we going to draft?
Right.
That's my biggest problem. I'm going to go back to that again.
I get it.
I'm going to have 5 wide receivers under the age of whatever. How many can I play at a time? So to me, that's why I'm so stuck on defense, Joe. Not that I disagree with you, Jake, because it's a good point. Offensive coach wants his guy. Makes total sense. But how many are we going to fucking pick?
Right.
We have 400 wide receivers. You know what I mean? I mean, if you want to draft one in the 3rd round, be my guest. But, I mean, to me, I shouldn't be drafting a wide receiver to the freaking 4th round, if that. Because I just drafted one in the 1st round. And then you're saying that he can't play. So now you just everybody told me he can't play. I already know that, but now you're telling me to confirm it. But I also don't want to be totally out on the can for 1 year. So it's a mess. Joe, what side of football are you going with?
No, yeah, I've been adamant that we got to stay. I think defense first 2 rounds, if I'm being 100% honest.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm saying what I think they'll do, I think they're going to take a wide receiver. But what I think we should do is I definitely think we should look at Micah Parsons. I mean, look, we have, like he said, I think he said it perfectly. We've put so many assets into this wide receiver position. If these guys all are absolute garbage, which I don't think they are, then we deal with that. But we need to fix this defense. And if you just look at age, our offense is actually young, you know what I'm saying, outside of a couple of linemen. But if you look at our defense, cap-wise, we have a lot of old, expensive players. So we need to flip that defense. So, I mean, me personally, I'm going defense. I'm going Micah. I wouldn't be mad at a wide receiver, though, to be honest.
You like Micah over Surtain, Joe?
I do. I think Micah. I'm taking Micah every single day. I honestly think
I feel like I know you better than that, though.
No, you're gonna hate me for this one. If you're mad at that, I think Patrick Surtain is probably a reach at number 6.
Really?
Right now. Right now.
I watched so much college football in my life, right, Joe? So much damn college football. In my history of watching college football, in big games, I have never, ever seen it not attack a corner, no matter who the fuck they were. No matter who they were. I watched Notre Dame not even take a shot at them, not even sniff them. I've never seen that in college football. And the more I read up about them, right now, I love watching Bama. Like I said, I love watching the SEC. So this is my cup of tea. This is where Tommy, I mean, I wouldn't miss an SEC pick. I'll miss everything else. I won't miss SEC guys. But I'm not crowding myself. I'm just saying I would do a better job than Howie, which isn't hard. So can the simulation. That says a lot about, I'm not, don't start petitioning Tom for the job. But at the end of the day, he's just never, and somebody, I think Chuck sent it to us, the more I hear about guys who study these guys even deeper, because my eyes usually tell me if I'm right or wrong first time. I'm not a tape guy. It doesn't mean that tape's not important and guys shouldn't want tape. Do you, boo-boo? This is what we're in it for. But I feel like, okay, good. My eyes didn't lie to me because all the things that came out about him was he's never out of position, right? He's not flashy like Farley, but he's just so consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. He's good. He's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's bad. I mean, I just don't think
You're giving Daddy no respect.
If you look at cornerbacks, especially like secondary in general, if you look at it lately, like out of drafts, especially top draft picks they have some time that they have to adjust to the game. Mm-hmm. So for me to realistically say, let's put our number 6 pick on a guy that even when he gets good, if it takes a year, he's going to be the number 2 to Darius Slay. So for me to say I'm going to put my number 6 pick on a number 2 guy for the next 2 years just doesn't make sense to me when we have no one at the linebacking position. Literally no one. I would almost be more okay, and I'm not saying that there's a guy ahead of him in this regard, but I would almost be okay with us taking a defensive lineman before a cornerback that we're going to have at 2, at 6. Realistically, and I'm not saying that I want that to happen. I'm just saying realistically our needs is not right now.
You're going to put Eagle fans in the mental hospital.
I get hate on my channel all the time.
I'm taking you guys back to the future because there was a point of time when we traded up to number 2 where I said, because somebody just brought up Jalen Ramsey, made me think of it, that I said I would actually go up to 2 for Ramsey, not even Wentz. So everybody careful with the corners. Donovan's making a tip to prove that point. Like, corners is my cup of tea, baby. This guy is locked down, shut down, go to bed. Now, that's nothing against Micah Parsons because I wouldn't even be mad. Like, I wouldn't be mad because we need a linebacker, to Joe's point. Like, it's not something we don't need. It's something that we never address. I'd be shocked if we went in that direction, but because it's just not our MO. But guess what? It's something that we desperately need is an impact linebacker for sure. Somebody that can play that position for the next 8 to 10 years, which we don't have on this roster. But I can't. Like, I won't be mad at like 4 guys like Chase, Surtain, Smith, or Parsons. Like, I'm not. You're not going to hear.
I wouldn't be mad at any of them.
Yeah, you're not going to hear uproar Tom on draft night. You're going to be like, okay, let's go to work. Like, you know what I mean? It's not going to be Jaylon. It's not Jaylon. It's like, okay. Now, anybody outside of them 4, outside of like guys that are ranked higher, obviously, I'm flipping the fuck out. I just want to confirm this for draft night. All right, just to let the people know. If it's anybody outside of them 4 guys or Sewell, I'll put him in there. All right, or Sewell, I'm flipping out. Flipping out. You're gonna.
Tom, I told you what's happening, and Joe's right. Joe's right. I'm not rude. I'm telling you. I'm so freaking convinced this is happening. Draft night. Train back to 11. Taking Gregory Russo from the DN from Miami.
I can see that happening.
I'm telling you.
Honestly, I would be more okay with trading back, getting the assets, and taking something like that. Because Patrick Surtain is just he's a great player. I have nothing but respect for him, and he could be great for us. But the time that it would take for him to be great doesn't warrant a number 6 pick, in my opinion.
Woo.
It just doesn't.
Hold on.
In my opinion, it just does not.
He comes in the league great because he's already ready.
Maybe.
And we don't need him to be great. We just need him to be a number 2. We need him to eventually be
functional?
a number 1.
Like, that'd be nice.
No. First off, he's better than Darius Slay. You guys all want to go? We'll talk about it. We'll talk. He is better than Darius Slay. He'll have more of an impact. Big play Slay, who never takes the football away. Right? Patrick Surtain will have more of an impact. And now, who are you throwing at? Now, as a quarterback, who am I going at? That makes it hard on teams. I want to make it hard to score. I want to fight fire with water once in a while, baby. Like, I want to fight. If they trade back, I got no problem with. Actually, I fucking do. Okay, because this is what I do. Now I'm upset. This is what I do. Usually, I have no problem with it. Like, usually with Joe said, I got no problem. If they do that this year, I'm losing it again. You know why? We need star talent, star caliber talent. You're not getting star caliber talent with this organization outside the goddamn top 10. All right? So you stay at 6 and you draft the best player on the board, you go to bed. If that's any of them guys, then 4. I told you, I'm Gooch. I can't argue Micah Parsons. I watched him enough. I know his impact with Penn State. He didn't play this year. Defense stunk. Okay? So real simple, his impact, right? I know enough about Smith to know. Listen, that's impact day 1, the best route runner in this draft. Factual. Jamar Chase, probably best big play guy in this draft. Not as much as the great route runner that Devontae Smith is. Let's clarify that. Chase played the outside. I like guys who have played in and out because then I know you can run a route. You know what I mean? So I look at that. And who else are we missing? And we're missing pedigree, Joe. We're missing. I mean, this guy has been doing cone drills since he's been 2. I mean, if there's a guy who knows how to play corner, Daddy knew how to play corner. I mean, I'm so in on this kid, but it's not that. I just can't trade out, guys. I cannot.
I wouldn't be mad. Like you said, those 4 guys. What were the 4? Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at those 4 guys. I would be mad at Penning, if I'm being honest. At that point, maybe you do trade out and you figure it out from there.
Gregory Rousseau.
If you take a left tackle right now, we're gonna have a left tackle controversy. We have a quarterback.
Patrick, take the star and shove it up your ass. Who are you talking about?
We got
Caleb Farley is not better than Patrick Surtain. Caleb Farley is big player bust. Okay, he has all the athletic ability in the world. Patrick Surtain is built for this. And are you kidding me about J.C. Horn? Are you kidding me about J.C. Horn? You want to tell me Asante Samuel Jr.? Maybe I'll sniff your conversation. The fact that you're telling me J.C. Horn, I'm going to tell you that. Oh man, I can't. This is why your team stinks, right? This is why your team stinks. You guys miss all the time because you guys are helping Jerry down there. Don't think he don't listen to the station he owns. All right, don't forget that. Don't forget the station Jerry fucking owns, people. Tell me he don't listen to the fans? That's why they stink.
Tom, you're not a fan of the products, the cornerback products from South Carolina, J.C. Horn? You're not a South Carolina guy?
I mean, I like Daddy.
Yes, you.
I like Daddy, but I can't.
I feel like it's deep, though. I will say, I feel like the secondary class is deep. There is a obvious drop-off from, the top couple. I feel like if you look at almost every defensive player, except for defensive line, I feel like they're all kind of around the same. But there's an obvious drop off from cornerback. So if they did take Patrick Surtain, I wouldn't be mad. I do feel like it's a little bit of a reach, but I would not be mad at it. He is, to me, the best player at cornerback.
Can I ask a question? Because I hear what Goldie's saying. I understand. He says we have to go after either Smith or Chase. You can't say that you're fixing Wentz with the talent we have at wide receivers. Understandable. Completely understandable. And I know the cap situation right now is not good, but we are going to have some flexibility. I mean, we have flexibility right now, believe it or not, but we're going to have more. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be able to get the Allen Robinsons of the world, but I'm just going to give you the scenario, okay? And fam at home, people in here, tell me if you'd be cool with it. If you were able to, let's say you got Surtain, okay, at 6. So you address defense. Say you went defense with the first 2 picks. Say you went cornerback, linebacker with the first 2 picks. And then maybe you took a receiver later in the draft. But in free agency, you got Marvin Jones, who is he's a really good wide receiver, but he's not going to command the top money. Are you okay with that? Do you feel a little bit more comfortable having Marvin Jones in this receiving core?
A couple years ago, maybe. Not now.
Yeah, this is 2 years ago, I'd be ecstatic.
We just need to develop the talent we have. I feel like we have a good enough wide receiver core. Worry about the defense and develop what we have. If we suck, we suck. But we have to see what we have on this team, bro. We don't even know what Travis Fulgham is. And he had a stretch where we were, I won't say we all were, but, people were over here comparing
T.O. Light,
Terrell Owens and doing all this crazy stuff. So, come on. I mean, let's just see what the hell we have on this team.
True. All right.
I'm not mad that we might not be good. It is what it is. I'm totally okay with that. But tell me what we have. I'm so tired of seeing Alshon Jeffrey starting over, Travis Fulgham, AP starting over Jordan Mailata. At this point, see what the hell you have. We don't know what we have. So develop the players we have. Worry about getting players on defense that you could develop. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Oh, I agree. And I don't. You can't say what Goldie's saying. You can't say that you're fixing Wentz with the talent we have at wide receivers. But how many times are we going to go draft just for Wentz?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I mean, at some point you have to draft what's best for your football team. And that's how I look at it. I mean, you can't always just draft for your quarterback. At some point, what's best for your football team in the first round?
And you've got to go defense because we've had this conversation a lot over the last couple of years. Who do you honestly hang your hat on as far as a young core on the defensive side of the ball?
Nobody.
Mm-hmm. Nobody.
Nope. No one.
That's an issue. What you know what I'm saying? We know it's bad right now, but we still have Brandon Graham. We still have Fletcher Cox. Imagine when those guys are either gone or a couple years older. You know what I'm saying? Imagine when Darius Slay is gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. We need to make – we can't be going into the year with, a bunch of older guys and then just a bunch of unproven commodities. You have to start having a young core, whether it's a linebacker, whether it's a cornerback, whether it's another DN. Like I said before, as bad as this offense has been, I would still say the weaker part of this team is defense going forward, just because of the amount of holes. Like I like Alex Singleton, but I don't know. Like, can we say he's a bona fide 16, 17 week starter? I don't know. Like, is he going to be a difference maker? Is he going to be a 1 year wonder? Is he going to get better? Like, I don't know. I like him. He's definitely on this roster. He's an NFL player. And then you look at the black hole as far as the secondary, the second cornerback position for the Eagles. And that's why, like, Joe, I understand what you say. Like, yeah, you have Slay to where, hey, would we really use the 6th overall pick for a second cornerback? But personally, I would, because you're getting a guy where right now he, at worst, is sliding into that second spot. You can eventually make him that number one once Slay is gone. And then I'm not even talking about safety. I mean, safety, we don't know. Like, I think Kevon Wallace can play just because he was really good at Clemson. Rodney, I mean, he's going to be back, but, we're not going to see him until, the middle part of the season because of the injury. There are talks that Jalen Mills isn't going to come back, and that doesn't do anything for me anyway. But there's questions all up and down, and I didn't even get to the defensive line yet.
Yeah, there's questions at the wide receiver. You just got 4 young guys or 5 young guys.
Yeah,
that's the difference. There's not question marks. You just got young guys there at least. Everywhere else, I mean, you're aging. We're aging up.
And I feel like everybody equates helping Carson Wentz with getting a shiny new toy on offense.
Yeah.
It'll help Carson if he felt like every time he gave the ball back to the defense or, put the defense back on the field that they were going to give up 40 points in one drive. That's where the hero ball comes from too. It's not just his offense around him being not good. He doesn't have a defense he can trust.
No, Aaron Rodgers, pretty good defense at Green Bay. They got 2 legit corners there, right? Helps their defense.
Legit number one.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where you look around the league, and it's like, all these explosive offenses. Well, what are you doing to stop them or slow them down? I gotta have legit corners. And right now, like, your number 2 is nobody right now. Avonte Maddox. I mean, stop it. I've seen enough.
No more Maddox, please.
I mean, now if he wants to slide into the slot,
there we go. That's a good idea.
I feel better about this. So if you had Maddox in the slot and Surtain and Slay coming in the year, we're feeling good about our corners at least.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're already feeling better about this football team. Now, I'm not saying if we drafted Smith, we're not feeling better about this football team too, right? Like, I get that. I get it.
Backflips.
Yeah, I get it. But I mean, like I said, any 4 of them, I think we're coming in and we're excited. But I just don't know how to draft another fucking wide receiver.
Colin, to your question, Colin, I might trade up in the first to get him.
You know what?
He's
back into the first to get him. Like,
he's fucking scary.
I'll do this right here.
Pucker up.
Would love Najee Harris.
I was watching the national championship game, and fucking Najee Harris cost me money, but I'm watching the game, and I'm watching he's like 10 yards in the backfield, and he's gonna get fucked in the ass, and then somehow he finds a way 20 yards out the field, 30, 40 fucking touchdown. He's unreal. Like, I did not know a lot about him. It was like my first time really watching him, and I was just blown away. I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, he's a stud.
I would love Surtain.
I don't watch as much Alabama. I like watching Alabama because they're a fun football team. I don't watch as much as Tom, obviously. But, he's a stud. Like, for me, hopefully I can get this out before my phone makes me the crumb of the week. But I understand wanting to go defense, and I'd be tempted. I don't think we're going linebacker because I don't think we've drafted the first round linebacker since 1979. I wouldn't hate Surtain at 6. Like, he's phenomenal, great technique. He good speed. There's just nothing not to like about him. But if Smith or Chase are there, it'd be really hard to pass on one of those guys, even though I know we have all the young wide receivers. So my numbers would probably be Devonta, Jamar Chase, Surtain, I'll go Sewell, and then Micah Parsons.
Yeesh, damn. Disrespect. Oh, damn.
My
man like went 5. We were given top 3. You went all the way to 5. Oh my God.
I like Micah Parsons. Like Jim Schwartz isn't here anymore, so I can give a fuck about linebackers again. It's going to be nice.
Hopefully. I mean, I get it. You know, like I said, if we look at
let me rephrase that. We can care a little bit more about linebackers.
Can we though? Can we?
Hopefully.
I mean, unless we. I mean,
he's the one. No, he's the one who begged for Patrick Queen or Kenneth Murray, and they told
people that are making exactly the people who are making decisions are still here.
Yeah,
the problem he wanted a linebacker. What do you think these 2 guys aren't here for anymore?
Yep.
I mean, Doug, who knows why he's not here? You know, but Jimmy.
I mean,
Jimmy said, "Fuck you, I'm out."
Yeah.
Jimmy saw enough. Jimmy knows where we're going, and it's time for Jimmy to go and move on, right?
If I couldn't stand one more minute of that prevent defense or guys being like 15
defense.
Fucking it's for a watch.
To Carlos's question, he says, what teams will we trade back with? Well, 9 makes sense if the Broncos try to move up to get a quarterback. 10, I don't think you're trading with the Cowboys. 11. See, I was wrong. I don't think they're going to trade back to 11. I think they trade back to 12 because 11's the Giants, and 12, who knows, the 49ers might try to move up to get a quarterback or somebody. 12 could be an option. 14, 15. I mean, once you get into the teams, any of those teams will trade up.
I want no parts of that.
I just don't trust Howie with trade backs. That's just me.
That's not real, right?
Hold on.
Let me go to A2D New York and find out because they will have it. Yeah, no. Not yet. Not yet.
I saw that and I almost fell off my chair.
He might
cried.
He might just be saying like, that should happen.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, he'll randomly go to the Padres and they'll have like fucking 8 starting pitchers.
They're willing to spend the money.
They are.
Goldie says, I promise you, if we pass on Smith or Chase, we will regret it for years, especially if we pick Surtain. Yeah, well.
I don't think that's fair.
We should know what that feels like, though, Goldie, so nothing new.
Goldie, I'm not the one. I love them 2 guys, but I'm not the one who's drafted wide receivers every year and not been able to hit. Like, I just don't know. Like I said, I just don't know how many times you go in there. How many times you go to the well? I don't know. I don't know anymore. That's the problem. I don't have the answers anymore for a football team that has a million holes. I don't. I wish I did, people. Last year, I feel like I had the answers. This year, I got no answers. He continued to ruin this roster. He's still here. You can hire a million goddamn head coaches, and I still don't feel cleansed. I'm never going to feel cleansed until either he revamps a roster and shows me he can do what he did in 2017 again, or he's fired. That's the only way. He's got to grow back. He's got to show me things that make me trust him again. Because right now I don't. So until he changes my mindset on how he goes about his business, this whole football team's a concern for me. And I mean, the new head coach is great. What did he fucking do? Same guy's running the whole thing again. Same power struggle dork.
All over the place.
Power struggle and dork. Go put your pocket protector in again, babe. Pull that out. All right? Freaking nerd. I'm so sick of listening to him, watching him reach, watching him freaking reach. Jalen Reagor should have never been drafted in the first round. It's a joke. All right? A guy you don't even hear of. You don't even hear. I watch so much college football, Jalen Reagor. Like, what? What? I don't even know who the fuck that is. That's a problem. I don't care if all the experts knew who he was. If you watch not college football and Jalen Reagor doesn't smack you in the mouth, you don't draft the guy. When I watch a million guys go after him, that had impacts on their football team all year.
Anybody else in the first 2 rounds not named Denzel Mims would have been a better pick at wide receiver. I'm not even talking about number 1. I'm not even talking about first round. I'm talking about any other pick at wide receiver in the first 2 rounds, from Claypool to Van Jefferson, any of them.
Yep.
I'm not saying you may not have the answers. I listen. You're acting like that. I don't love Jason and Smith. Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, you're misguided on what I'm saying. Like, I love both of them guys. They're both going to be big time players in this league.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what do we go to it again? If we do, we do. But then I just feel like you're not valuing any other part of your roster. That's not my fault. All right. We'll open up the lines. All right, everybody comes in. You get 2 minutes. And then I got to move on from. We got to move on from you and go to the next guy. So, got to get it out. All right, got to get it out. You can DM any of our socials for the link, and we're gonna end this. We're gonna end this at 12. So, one just left. Okay, well, there was one in there, no longer. So, all right. Regardless, we're ending this at 12, and so you got 9 or 11 minutes to get in. 11 minutes to get in.
Dude, you need to get some like game show music. Make the people really, want it, like that weakest link type thing.
Well, here we go. We got one person who really wants it. Let's see what Rome's got to say.
What's up, Rome?
What's up, Rome?
What's good,
What's
bro?
going on, fellas? Shit, I thought someone else was gonna hop on, so I wanted to hear what someone else said first, but I guess nobody wants to speak. But to start, I'll go with my Sixers. I'm impressed right now. I can't lie. I gotta back off Tobias and let him breathe because he's earned that, I would say. And my brother, he's also a Philly everything fan. I was a little harsh on Tobias on Twitter, and he was like, he opened my eyes up to the fact that Tobias has always played well with Doc, and so that might be a turning stone for Tobias, in Philly. But I know damn sure it wasn't working with Bert Brown, because I was ready to give up on him, honestly, and I'm still not sold. Like you said, Tom, like I'm a playoff guy. What can you do when it matters? You know what I'm saying? With the when the lights are bright, you know what I'm saying? When the stage is set, what can you do? So the jury's still out personally for me on Tobias, but I'm gonna let him breathe because I'm impressed on what I've seen so far. Moving on to Ben. Tom, I know we kind of bump heads with Ben, but I just never really have been sold on him being the guy that is gonna elevate this team and coincide with Joe. And the reasons being is like he's not aggressive enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I commend his defense and his potential to be a great two-way player in the league. You know what I'm saying? He's already shown flashings, and you know what I'm saying? He's shown that, but without a jumper, without an offensive mentality to, you know what I'm saying, to put the ball in the hole other than driving the ball, you know what I'm saying? That kind of has, raised red flags for me. But I like his game, you know what I'm saying? I like what he does for us, because I've also said that we could still win with Ben not being a scorer. You know what I'm saying? And we can still win that way. But he has to take it possession by possession. You know what I'm saying? Like he can't just go missing 3 to 4 possessions in a row, you know what I'm saying, on the offensive side, you still have to be someone who they account for. You know what I'm saying? In the flow of our offense when we're efficient. And I think Steph Curry out there and having shooters, like real shooters this time, not like hoping for fucking JJ Redick to come around the screen, even though that was great, you know what I'm saying? But that was our main like source of getting threes, you know what I'm saying? And getting those shots was through JJ Redick, you know what I'm saying? But now we have shooters and we're kicking the ball out left, right, you know what I'm saying? When the ball goes to Steph Curry's hands, if he comes down off that open shot or that shot or if he comes down from the perimeter, that's opening up so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really think that's been a X factor for us. Steph Curry and his playmaking when he's not shooting the ball, when he's coming down off those screens. You know what I'm saying? He turns into like a second point guard for us. And I say that because that's so vital, because you see guards his size not do that very well. You see Kyrie come off that open or that shot up top, and he's looking to score downhill all the time. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, you know what I'm saying? Steph Curry still he's gonna be aggressive. If that floater's open, he's probably gonna take that floater, but he's gonna make a better play. You know what I'm saying? Rather than just putting the ball up because he came off. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's real vital. And Shake Milton, I think he's just gonna grow in his role coming off the bench. And I think if he could make that bench role his, kind of like how James Harden did with OKC, when James Harden entered the game, it was like he was starting the game. You know what I'm saying? Because it was his time. You know what I'm saying? And if Shake Milton, because Shake Milton, he's on the verge. He has the potential to be a starter. You know what I'm saying? But if he could develop his 6-man, this is my time, I'm a killer in this moment for us, that's gonna be crucial. So yeah, I'm like, and JoJo, I ain't even gotta really say about JoJo, because I will say this though. He's been real consistently great early and often for us, and that's been a great look to see. And he's trending. It looks like he's comfortable with his body. You know what I'm saying? Like, things aren't really nagging too much. It looks like he's fresh in a weird way. You know what I'm saying? It looks like the way he's playing right now, it looks like we can make it throughout the season and depend on JoJo in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though we could last year or in the seasons past, but there was, you know what I'm saying, the boneheaded fucking illnesses, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I think JoJo's matured past all the little shit, and you could play through the little shit, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and
it's all part of it. You know, it's all part of growth. It's all part of learn how to win in this league. You know,
I think he meant himself as I'm the guy in Philly for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been a part. He's the reason the process is a thing. But like you said, Tom, the growth and the maturity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's really taken into that this season. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm a still be critical and still look deep into it as the season progresses, because we've yet to play the West yet. So that's like the New Testament. You know what I'm saying? We got the Old Testament, we got the New Testament. So we gotta see how we match up against the West. But I'm confident because our defense is something that we pride ourselves on. So I think if all else fails, we could fall back on our defense in those struggle games and those tough games, and we could find a way to get it done. moving on to my Eagles, man, I don't know how to feel really about not giving a guy like Deuce the opportunity. But then I was watching, I think it was Undisputed, and they was talking about, you know, Deuce's his personality. You know what I'm saying? He's a no-nonsense type of guy, you know, and that might not mesh well with Carson. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of see why they stayed away from Deuce, because I feel like he would be not outspoken, but outspoken on how he feels.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There won't be no dancing foolishly around press conference questions like Doug Peterson. It would be straight to the point. You like it, you love it, you don't. It is what it is. That's how I am. You know what I'm saying? And I think they stayed away. No, Deuce.
Yeah, I don't even know why Deuce's name even gets brought up, honestly. He was assistant coach on a team that won 4 games. Didn't deserve to be a head coach. That's how that works. I don't know why us as a fan base, when it comes to former players, that we like need them to be head coaches, because that's going to change the direction of our organization. And that's how I look at Deuce. It's not a shot at Deuce. One day he can be a great head coach, but you're just part of a roster that won. You're just part of a coaching staff that won 4 games. Who the fuck's punking me if that dude got the head job here? Like, I feel like I got punked as an Eagles fan. I feel like Ashton Kutcher just showed up. You got punked, Tom. You got punked. Like, that's how I feel. And that's not disrespecting Deuce. That's just like, you don't get a better job when you just failed as a staff. We just fired the head coach, but the assistant coach gets no. That's what happens when you fire a guy mid-season.
I didn't say we should have hired Deuce. I'm
not saying you.
I'm saying I don't know how I feel about not really looking into giving him a chance at least.
They looked into giving him a chance to give him an interview.
I don't think you really gave him his due diligence as a credible alternative.
He's been on staff forever.
I think if you look back at maybe after 2017, maybe even before we hired Doug, those were the shots that we should have gave Deuce. Now I don't think is when you can really go to bat for him. But I do think this organization kind of played Deuce from the beginning. But like I said, I think it's years on end of it happening. It's not necessarily just this year.
No,
but, to Tom's point, we all suck. That's almost like saying Press Taylor deserved a promotion. But whole staff was bad.
But to your point, because of that, because of his longevity and his due diligence in the organization, I feel like, and like you said,
nobody's shit.
But I've been felt like they've been playing Deuce into
y'all just too deep on this shit. Y'all just too deep on this shit. He ain't playing nobody. Ain't playing nobody. Like, how long you got to like, why do somebody owed something? Because you're with somebody for a while. What they fucking do? There's a lot of people who've been with the organization for a while. Does that mean they deserve more? No. I hate this organization right now. But when it comes to Deuce, they didn't do him dirty. Because
I feel like Doug had the exact same type of resume that Deuce did when Doug got hired. If we're being 100%. So, but I mean, at that point, if you're gonna hire somebody like Doug, that's the point. That's why I say at that point, yeah, I do agree. Deuce probably should have got that shot.
But you have players,
at least as an OC.
You have players and personnel, vouching for him. But to my next
point, so that doesn't mean anything either, though. Like, that just means guys like him. Like, that doesn't mean like, success. It doesn't mean like because players go to bat for guys that they're automatically going to be successful. Like, you can't hire a guy who just literally was part of a team that failed. That's a train wreck waiting to happen again. I don't care how qualified he is. Then go be qualified somewhere else then. The guy has never even been an offensive coordinator. Like, I need you to at least take steps to be a head coach. And that doesn't mean he can't be a great one. If we won 10 games last year and Doug walked away, and then we're like, okay, like Doug resigned, then I'm right where you guys. You understand? Because my assistant head coach at least was part of a culture that won 10 games.
I didn't want to dive too deep on the Deuce thing. I just said personally, I felt like we rushed in. Like I felt like we should have gave him a chance. But to move on to who we hired, Nick, what's his last name? Sirianni.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 2 minutes, Rum, because I want to go to bed.
Okay. But I seen on Twitter, I guess he was mic'd up in practice and stuff, and I liked his dialogue. I liked how he took command of the players and how, you know what I'm saying, the players were kind of like sponges to his words. So that showed me a lot, and the things he was saying were very insightful, very, very insightful and very intricate, you know, details and information of the game, you know what I'm saying? So I like that part about it, but I just don't like how if the narrative is true, how we're hiring to suit Carson. You know what I'm saying? So that's tricky. That's tricky, because if you hire a coach to have a great relationship with Carson, and Carson being Carson off of what we know of Carson, then that's just like, is Carson gonna correct himself? Is the coach gonna hold him accountable to his mistakes more, or are they gonna have a good relationship and be buddy more so? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're gonna find out. Listen, we're gonna find out in a little bit. You know what I mean? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out a lot moving forward. You know, as this offseason continues and how this roster shapes out and going into OTAs and all that fun stuff. We're gonna find out some things about this coach, obviously, and we're gonna find out more things once his staff's hired. You know, because right now we don't know anybody else on this staff as of right now. So it's, you know, we got a lot to figure out and dive into, obviously, with Eagles moving forward. But listen, to wrap this show up, a good Sixers win tonight. Sorry for that, Joe. There's a
You're good.
Obviously a big game. Obviously big game Sunday, boys. So that'll be fun. And some exciting games, obviously. So
Tom, one question is what do you see Ben finishing at this season in terms of points per game?
Oh my God.
Like 15.
That's sad, right?
Depends the other stuff.
Huh? He does the other stuff.
Well, it depends on winning. It depends on his assists, his rebounds, where all them numbers are, defensively, you know, and the final tracker is, are we winning games? If we're winning games and we're scoring points and he's facilitating a big part of them points, then I can deal with it. But a lot of it's just going to come down to the key word, aggressiveness and want to, and, you know, put your handprint on games. Let everybody know that was in the arena, even though nobody's there. But everybody know that's in the arena or watched you tonight, that you were there and you played basketball. I think that's the most important thing. This year he just might not be able to get to 18 a game because he started slow. So we'll see. But listen, fun shit. Rome, thanks for jumping on with us. Obviously, Pete, we appreciate you too. I think Rome's gone now. Joe, love you, bro.
You already
know. The podcast. Go check him out, fam. Jake, great show, baby. Ryan was with us. And that was all that was with us, right? I feel like I'm losing my mind with all the people I've been doing shows with. I don't even know anymore. John, we appreciate you. We appreciate all you guys out there that comment in. And listen, Fan Friday is your guys' chance to jump in. You know, we gave Rome a little bit longer because I don't think anybody was waiting because people were nervous to show their faces. You know, if it was a call, everybody wants to call in. You know what I mean? But everybody gets a little nervous with the face gate. So, but we thank you guys. 10, 9, 8. They're back at it tomorrow night. Back-to-back talk. We'll see how many minutes Joel Embiid plays. Eagles, hopefully sometime next week, we get a presser. We start to find out who this coaching staff is, and we move forward there. Hopefully in the next coming weeks, JT Realmuto is signed and Didi Gregorius is signed for the Philadelphia Phillies. And hopefully sometime over the next goddamn week, the Philadelphia Flyers wake the hell up. All right, everybody's darling wakes the hell up. Boys, hell of a show. Family, we appreciate you. I did enough fucking reads tonight. We out.